Out the roots, he let the beats build, bitch. And we never switch. Even if I'm rich, I'll be broke like I'm Mitch. Niggas talking down, but that's headed in the wrong direction. But I knock that shit out like the boxing section. Cause they can't touch what they can't see. All I gotta do is be the same me. All I gotta do is keep it cheap. Always be the same me. While I'm solid, boy, they can't change me. No.
We live from the boxing section, you dusty ass niggas. What's going on, man? We live from the boxing section, man. What's going on? Yeah. We live from the boxing section, man. Yo, we're back again with another one like the other one, same soup, reheated. Man, shout out to my dog, Steph in the building, man. Salute to you, my brother. My boy DJ, what's going on? Hold on, fellas. Man, so the question is Shakur Stevenson or Jake Paul? Salute to my dog these times. Everybody, if you watch tonight, Jake Paul, his fight with Perry, you understand the question, right? I'm asking. Everybody gets on Shakur for his fighting style and things like that, right? They say, oh, he ain't knocking nobody out. Oh, he's all this defense. He's doing this. He's doing that. Jake Paul, on the other hand, is getting knockouts. But the people are saying, oh, he ain't fought nobody. Oh, he doesn't fight in real competition. Like DJ said earlier, oh, he needs to fight a real fighter. Oh, man, you know. So that's the question that I have. Would you rather have somebody knocking somebody out, or would you rather have a world-class boxer outboxing and outclassing his opponent? Which one would you rather have? That is the question of which I have. Okay, that's the question. So if that's what, now I don't have a problem with either one. A lot of people do, right? They say like, oh, Shakur Stevenson isn't giving us what we want, right? He's not giving us the knockouts. He's not active enough. Jake Paul is very active, right? But people are saying he's not fighting who they want them to fight. So it's like, which one is it? Which one do you want? Which one would you rather have? You know what I'm saying? Would you rather have a guy that's boxing beautifully against the best competition, or would you rather a guy knocking everybody out with minor competition with everybody saying he's fought in some fighters that have gotten that ring before? And I think that this fight in particular, it was a really good one because this is the bare knuckle champion, bro. This is the guy that has the belt for bare knuckle boxing. And he got in there with Jake Paul and he got washed. From round one to the knockout, he was washed. He was getting pieced up. The jab almost dropped him a couple times. Yes, I don't really have a problem with it. Either one, really. I like Shakur when he's boxing beautifully, not getting hit, things like that. Now, the Santiago fight, that was a little different. But the last fight, nah, I don't put that on Shakur. I don't put that on Shakur at all. So, y'all tell me what y'all think in if you want to join the panel, the link is in the chat. If you want to join the panel, the link is definitely in the chat. But yeah, man, I want to see what's next. And then we got your boy, Lomachenko, ducking out of the fight with Tank. Now, he done been talking crazy about Gervonta Davis for so long. And now, when it's his time to fight Gervonta Davis, he's uninspired. He's uninspired now. Now, when did we get uninspired as fighters with the biggest fight on the table? Man, we got my dog in the building, man. Salute to my dog, Young Mexico. Also, we got my dog. Hold on real quick. You already know what time it is when I do this. When I drop this, y'all know what time it is. You understand? This motherfucker Max been fucking with my shit. He done put it,
I'm telling you right now, hide your grandma, hide your aunt, hide your mama, hide your cousin. Hey. You know what I'm saying? Your stepmama's favorite.
No, you want him? Ooh, I like him. I don't have any panties on.
And real quick, just because he here, I need to give him one. Hold on.
None of you motherfuckers don't care enough about a brother to even just see what's going on in a nigga life. Sometimes a nigga need a hug or something, you know what I'm saying?
It's been a long time since he last got down. Friends and family, what's going on with y'all, man? How y'all feeling?
Hey, Jake Paul over Shakur Stevenson. We know who the real star is. Fuck out of here.
Hey, man, you know, if Shakur was fighting, you know,
Jake will knock Shakur out.
If I'm just saying, I think, can we give Shakur the same credit if Shakur was fighting 122 pounders and knocking him out? Because that's essentially what Jake Paul doing. Let's go find Shakur Rigondeaux. Let Shakur knock him out, and then we go praise him for that. Let's go do that. Can we do that? Can we go find? I don't know, another random 118 pound, 122 pounder that's retired, hadn't fought in a while. Let's let Shakur knock them out and then call him the most exciting man in boxing. You know, I say let's just do that. Jake Paul is a very smart man. He's picking retired MMA fighters and the bare knuckle champion that he outweighed by 20 or 30 pounds. Let's be for real, man. Be for real. Like I told you, Max, I told you from the beginning, I respected the Tommy Fury fight. That's the one fight I give Jake Paul respect for. That's the one fight I give him respect for. Even though he lost, I give him respect for that. He stepped in there winning. For me, this is just me. I can't speak for nobody else. But until Jake Paul goes and fights, and on a consistent basis, goes and fights actual cruiserweights, I ain't interested. Only reason I watched tonight was nothing else. There was literally nothing else on.
I don't like your tone.
There was the Lady All-Star game that went off earlier. But like I said, I'm stuck at work, and there was literally nothing else on. So I watched it. I watched Amanda Serrano go in there and punch on her opponent.
She got to fight. Hey, listen. She got to fight Alicia Baumgartner though, but that's another topic for another day.
You know what? I don't like how she keeps stepping around Alicia Baumgartner and keep trying to fight 140 pounders. But you know, when Alicia Baumgartner's sitting right there in the weight class right above her, she gonna skip 2-3 weight classes above her trying to fight Katie Taylor, who's 140 pounder now. I'm sorry, I don't want to see you get punched on by Katie Taylor again. I'm one of the ones who didn't think she won. I know a lot of people thought Amanda Serrano beat Katie Taylor the first time. I thought the right person won that night. But that's just me. How y'all doing?
Hey, so what would you rather watch? Would you rather watch a world-class boxing performance from Shakur Stevenson, or would you rather watch a Jake Paul fight? Are you signing up for knockouts, or are you signing up for world-class defense?
I'm excited for world class boxing, and that's not what I see when I watch Jake Paul fight. I
Mexico.
don't see world class boxing. I don't see world class boxing. I mean, if we're watching this at the highest level, right? That's what we talk about, right? We're watching it at the highest level, right? Is that what we doing? We watching it at the highest level? Then I want to see it at the highest level. Shakur might not be the one to punch on everybody and knock them out, but we also grading on a curve here at the same time. Let's put Shakur in the ring with 122 pounds. Let's see what happens. You understand most of the guys Jake Paul is fought. Jake Paul is 215, 220. A lot of the guys that he's fought weigh 190 pounds. Like, how's that getting overlooked?
He
regardless of their perfection. Regardless of their profession, how's that getting overlooked? He's making the weight, and they're not cutting weight at all. Because they're walking in at their walk around weight.
Hey, DJ, what's our saying on this channel? Because I think you forgot what the saying was on this channel.
Oh, you talking about put his ass in there?
Put his ass in there. If you sign that contract, put his ass.
Oh no, it's no fault of his own. Hello, no fault of his own. They signing these contracts like like they crashing out signing these contracts. Hello,
you on mute? We can't hear. We can't hear you.
You on mute? You on mute?
Oh, I know. Want me to get off mute?
Hey.
Get off mute.
I don't know.
Hey,
Shut up.
Hold on, man. Check the bus down real quick. Hold on. One more time.
I got two colored eye queens.
That's a hard term.
Yeah, I said.
Hey, hello, Barbie.
Hey, who is that? Next, who is that?
That's Shanice. That's Brittany.
Yeah.
I know Brittany. I'm trying to get to know Shanice.
Yeah, you know Brittany.
Hand the phone to Shanice real quick, Mexico.
Wow.
Just stop.
Hi guys, how are we? Don't watch me. Watch your big.
Shanice, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing swell. How are you, stars?
I'm doing fantastic. You really just brightened up our night with your presence. If I could just be honest with you.
Good. So where are we located? Let me know the chisme. ¿Cómo estás?
Listen, I'm headed to Salinas right now.
Alabama, roll tide, baby, roll tide. Who's Alabama over here?
I'm headed to Salinas right now.
Who's from Alabama? Because Alabama, my daddy played for Alabama. Roll tide till dad die.
That's DJ.
That's big DJ on the bottom.
Well, let's go. What position? My dad's left tackle. Let's go.
Oh God.
I'm sorry. I'm such a sports queen. I love sports. I'm sorry.
What's your football team?
I'm sorry. I'm such a sports queen. I love sports.
Who's your favorite football team?
Niners.
Atta girl.
Oh, Bama, roll tide, favorite, and then it's Niners.
Hey, DJ. We in the hunt, huh? We in the same race. What about basketball?
Oh man.
Basketball, well, I really don't follow it, but my hometown, the Warriors. And then baseball, Giants.
I'll give you the Giants. Now, do you watch?
As long as you don't say the fucking Dodgers. Forgive my cousin. God forgive me. Let me pray real quick. But yeah, no.
No, I haven't
we Giants
since 1988.
I've never liked the Dodgers, so let's go.
So Shanice, look at the screen real quick.
Okay. Fuck that. Nope. Take off that Dallas shit.
Are you reading it? Are you reading it? She didn't read it. She didn't read the shirt. She didn't read the shirt.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
I just saw the car.
Yeah, we're about to get something to eat though, so I'm gonna tap back in.
All right, man.
I do too.
Hey, Hey, what you about to do with that?
He got the other one. I need that
What
one.
I've already been doing.
Hey, Mexico, give us a shakur before you get up out of here. Give us a shakur before you leave. Hey, so DJ, how's the house coming along, man? How is the house coming along?
Like trash. City ordinances, man. That's all I'm gonna say. I can't fully do what I want. Which blows me. How can you tell me what I can do on my land, right? So that sucks. But it's still coming along. We're actually done. I just can't do what I want with it.
So what is that you're trying to do?
As far as like adding on to it, like what type of wildlife I can have, what type of pool I can have. Like it's all type of city ordinances that we got here that I gotta abide by. See, I want some livestock so my property taxes will be cheaper. And I want a bull, and I can't just get a bull.
Why not?
Right? Because I have to buy them. I have to buy them in herds, right? I have to buy them in lots, as they say. I don't want to buy a lot. I just want one bull.
Wait, what they want you to do?
Okay, so you can buy like a bull from like a local farmer or whatever, but you have to buy if you want to like be considered a farm and get the kind of property taxes that I want, keep the kind of cut on property taxes that I want. You have to be what they consider a commercial farmer, and then you have to buy them in lots. You have to buy them in lots of like 20. So, yeah, I don't want to do that.
Now, if you put a pool without the city knowing, what happens?
Oh, I can't have it. They'll make me get rid of it.
How would they know though?
Oh, they'll know. They'll know. It's not like I live outside the city limits, Kyle. I live in the city limits. I just got a substantial amount of land.
I thought you went to like the country and got it.
No. No, I can't live in the country. It's too quiet. Way too quiet for me.
So have you been playing college football?
And you know I have.
What position you playing?
Oh, you talking about for Road to Glory?
Yeah.
I'm gonna start off with running back because I know I'm gonna have an opportunity to touch the ball every play, whether it's running or receiving. So I always start off with running back.
Yeah,
a lot of people like to start off. A lot of people start off a quarterback, but that's too easy. That's too easy.
You got the ball in your hand.
I can control the whole game like that. But anyway, back to what we were saying about Jake Paul.
Yeah, I had to ask that question because, you know, a lot of people have been talking crazy about Shakur Stevenson, but like they're also talking shit about him. But it's like y'all said y'all want knockouts, but now all of a sudden the knockout's not good enough for you guys.
You know when that? Oh, it didn't just start now. You remember when Devin Haney dominated? Not Pedraza. Linares. You know, he dominated Linares, and everybody talked. All anybody could talk about was him getting clipped and how he didn't have any power, right? And then you get somebody like Deontay Wilder who was stretching everybody, and that wasn't good enough. Oh, he ain't got no skill. So it's like at that point, I gave up. If I was a fighter, right, seeing how the public reacted to that, just fight, dominate the way you dominate, as our fellow friend, the Sweet Science Examiner, once said, dominate the way you dominate. If that's the way you dominate, then that's the way you dominate. Don't get into this crowd pleasing style, trying to please everybody. Salute, Reggie. Shakur, in my opinion now, he has the goods to be one of the greats. He has the skill to be one of the greats. I think public perception is bothering him now. It really does bother him that even in a loss, right? Like a lot of people clown Devin Haney for losing, but I've never been in a situation where somebody got clowned for winning. Right?
Yeah.
We can talk about holes in somebody's game and how this is a weakness and you better tighten that up and you need to work on that. But Shakur has really went in there, especially this last fight. Now, De Los Santos, it was what it was. But especially with this last fight, when you go in there and 12-0 a dude, and you get clowned for that.
And he was
Jake Paul, right. But Jake Paul can keep punching on retired MMA fighters and the bare knuckle boxing champion, who is also an MMA fighter, who he also outweighs. He's like, bro, outside of Tommy Fury, let's be honest here, right? And this is not hate. This is the truth. Outside of Tommy Fury, Jake Paul has outweighed all of his opponents about 20 or 30 pounds. And I don't think there's any coincidence that the one fight where he wasn't just physically more imposing than the other opponent, he lost.
I thought he won that fight.
That's all of them. No, he didn't win that fight. Only reason that fight was close only reason it was close because they took a point away from Tommy Fury. Tommy Fury was boxing his ears off. Now, he had moments in that fight where he clipped Tommy Fury. But Tommy Fury was boxing his ears off. Only reason that fight was close was they took a point. And this man is in what, 10 fights? 10 fights now? And he's still fighting 8-rounders? All I'm asking Jake Paul to do, for me, go find that 12-0 Kazakh that was a silver medalist in the Olympics and fight him. That's an actual cruiserweight. Not a light heavyweight moving up, somebody who done had 5-6 fights at cruiserweight. But if you're gonna do this, like actually fight, like we're not gonna disrespect Shakur, but then praise Jake Paul for what he's doing. I don't like. To me, that's why I draw the line.
Dog, it's not like he got 100 fights. He ain't got that many fights.
He's got 11 fights.
Yeah, so I mean, you can't talk about him and not talk about Abdullah Mason.
Abdullah Mason is actually fighting people in his weight class.
But he's still not.
And we're not talking about Abdullah Mason as the king of boxing. We still recognize Abdullah Mason for what he is, which is a prospect, a very good one.
He actually only had 10 fights, though.
In my eyes, he actually only has 2, but the rest of them are just exhibition.
But this is what I'm saying, all right? Who? Okay, let me pull this up real quick. I need to get your. All right. All right, tell me who you give him credit for.
Who, Jake Paul?
I gotta go Nate Robinson. I'll give him credit for that.
I ain't giving him credit for Nate Robinson. Nate Robinson was 185 pounds, bro. And never boxed before.
But Nate Robinson called him out, though.
So, a lot of these dudes call him out. So we fighting everybody that called us out now?
Put his ass in there.
Because guess what? Kendall Gill called him out. He didn't respond to that.
He ain't famous enough.
Kendall Gill, who's like 6'6", 225 pounds, 230 pounds, somebody who's been boxing half their life, who can actually offer him some kind of resistance. He didn't respond to that.
Get the smoke. What's going on?
What up?
Just saying. What's up, Smoke?
Since the last got down.
Chilling, man. Is this dude still trying to legitimize Jake Paul? You still doing this, Kyle? What's up, man? It's been
We
forever.
still
Your
at it,
hair
man.
grew. You got a full ass beard and shit. Still trying to shove Jake Paul down the throat, huh?
Yes. Indeed. Yeah, Jake Paul still the king of boxing. Don't worry about it.
Okay. We can't figure out how to fight boxers though, but he's a face of boxer. Whatever, man.
Hey, yeah, man. Listen, it's not about that. Smoke. I didn't ask you to correct me today.
I'm not trying to correct you. I'm actually amused. Like I was like, wait a minute. I saw you live. I came over, and then I'm listening to the conversation. I'm like, wait a minute.
No, so
this is fucking Kyle doing. Is he doing his stick again?
No. So this is the conversation, right? It's people are getting on Shakur Stevenson saying that he's boring and things like that because of his fighting style. But then on the flip side, people are praising or not praising Jake Paul for the fights and the knockouts. So it's like, which one do you want? Do you rather have a world-class boxer fighting another world-class boxer and outclassing him, or would you rather have Jake Paul all knockouts? What would you rather have? That's kind of where I was going with Shakur Stevenson. Or
okay, so right. So for me, I'm a boxing, right? I'm a fight fan. So I do understand the question, right? So because you can say that they're both fights. But for instance, I watched Shakur fight. I did not watch Jake Paul.
So how did you feel about the Shakur Stevenson fight? Since I got you here.
I thought that he was in there. He was in there with somebody that was not in the same class as him, right? He was somebody who was completely outmatched, and couldn't really make it a fight. He was good enough to not go to sleep, but he wasn't good enough to make it like really. He wasn't ever really a threat. He's just like a really good trier. He's a trier. Bless his heart.
Yeah,
he showed that he was like a world-class fighter.
He was good at surviving. Yeah.
What'd you say?
I said he was real good at surviving, and Shakur really didn't throw his hands at the end. Like he really didn't up the pressure to try to get him out of there, but he outclassed it. Shakur,
I don't think Shakur.
Whatever pace you want to fight the fight at, Shakur's gonna fight it. He's not gonna switch gears like we watched Gervonta Davis do. Gervonta Davis will switch gears on you and show you that he's on a whole nother level. Shakur would just stay at your pace. He'll stay at your pace.
Trying to get you out of there, though. Also, I think that Shakur will punish you and win rounds, and that's it. He'll punish your mistakes, and he'll win rounds, and that's good enough.
Somewhat, but I just feel like however you want to, whatever pace you want to fight this fight at, I'll fight it at that pace and just outclass you. So whatever type of fight you want to make this.
Yeah, Shakur to me, like I said, from once he lost his belt on the scale, that guy has a PR issue. He needs a social media manager. He just needs a PR team. His PR fucking sucks.
Yeah, he's at that age, man. What is he? 25, 26?
Yeah, somewhere in there, just something like that.
And he's at the point now where this is the first time. Like I said earlier, he's getting clowned for dominating dudes, and he really don't know how to take that. He really, it's not that, I'm not going to say he don't know how to take criticism, but it's showing now that public perception bothers him. Whereas I don't think it bothers a lot of people around him. Like, for one, I don't think it bothers Keyshawn, the way you see him. I don't think it bothers Terrence Crawford, how you see him. But I think it bothers Shakur how people have been clowning him after these last two fights.
So it started with the publicity stunt and going in Haney's corner, right? I didn't do a publicity stunt. Yeah, but you've been doing publicity stunt. That was a publicity stunt. You've been doing a whole bunch of. Signed a contract. That was another one. But it was really when he was in Haney's corner after the fucking Lomachenko fight that you just saw that the guy wasn't being managed properly. He was being mishandled. And I think we just seen more and more of the same. Unless he's gonna fight Mace. Like, if you want to give me like a fight, fuck Jake Paul, weird ass fights. Give me Shakur versus Mace.
Oh man, and I'm a Shakur fan, right? But and I'm a Cam and Mace fan. Like, I'm old enough to remember when he said the thing about Mace, it just came off as, oh, you're not old enough. You don't really know. But that was brutal, man. They they let him have it. Oh man, it was two old heads. Just they really, in every sense of the way, besides physically, they sunned him.
Mason started talking about his boxing record. Mason said, "I got 3 knockouts." Shakur told him to glove up and shut up. He said, "I got 3 knockouts." I'm like, let's promote that shit. I'm sure the coach will fucking watch that. If you want to get your star game up, it isn't going to be fighting guys like Artem and that Japanese dude and the fucking Edwin De La Santo. Like, that shit ain't gonna do nothing for your career, bro. Like, it doesn't even matter what happens in the fight. Even if you knock him out in the first fucking round, that shit ain't doing anything for you.
What about a Williams Zepeda?
Yeah, they're not gonna fight no Williams Zepeda. Williams Zepeda, Oscar's not putting him nowhere near that fucking Shakur Stevenson.
No, he's not. I don't think he will either. Even though I think William wants to fight, I think Oscar is looking at the fact that Lomachenko just went back to Ukraine.
He's looking at the fact he got no goddamn champions unless you count like the women or something. Like, there's just nothing that, like, actually, like, Golden Boy is at the worst valley, I think, of their entire company's history. They have dog shit for fucking talent over there.
Well,
in comparison to their previous years.
The one outlier I'll give you, Smoke. The one outlier I'll give you is Virgil.
Yeah, but he's not, bro. He can't beat the heat. The dude can't get out of training camp. Like,
I think now that he's at 54 and quit trying to kill himself to make 47, I think it'll be better. Or we'll see after this training camp. We'll see after this training camp and this weight cut if he needs to just go ahead and go up to 60. 60's real dry right now. I think he's gonna do some work up there.
So how many divisions is he gonna fight in before he fights for a champion? Before you say that maybe this guy's not the goods?
Ooh, so that's a whole different conversation. So you don't think
right now he's in the second weight class, but never fought for a belt. And now you're telling him to move to a different weight class, right? My man's gonna be a five division, never fought for a championship guy.
My only question about Virgil ain't necessarily his talent; it's his body. Like, he's had to pull out
those things. I think that your body is your talent in this sport, right?
You can make an argument, but his health, I should say.
Yeah, the best ability is availability, right?
Also true in sports. So, but once he's out there, I'm not questioning that. Once he's in the ring, I'm not questioning that. Can he make it to the ring is the question, and we haven't seen that in the past few years.
That's what I'm saying.
We really haven't seen that consistency. He's got that Keith Thurman consistency right now.
Right now, okay. So Zepeda is a good fighter. Virgil has a lot of talent. From what we saw as a younger man, but really, I'm going back to 2019 to talk about Virgil Ortiz. So I got to go back a half a decade to even talk about the guy when it comes to his talent level. And you got Jaime Munguia, the former champion, because he beat up Saddam Ali. Because the Cotto got fucking injured in that fucking fight. So, like, that's your championship fucking guys over there.
We're not going to
Ryan
talk
Garcia.
about
We got Ryan, who's like, banned crazy.
We're not even going to talk about him. We're not even going to talk about him.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like that. Like we said, Golden Boy is a hot fucking mess. That's all.
Well, he keep forgetting Kid Austin's over there too, but they ain't.
It's a distinct difference. You want me to get on him too?
Oscar couldn't even remember his name.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so remember when Speedy Ellis was over there? And like, if you want to talk about the promotional company where black dudes go to die, where black careers go to die, yeah, that's today's Golden Boy.
Today it is Golden Boy and Mayweather, but
Mayweather got nobody. Yeah, Mayweather never been like you know what? Mayweather, I think, kind of lucked up when it came to Tank, but I think a lot of that had to do with like Adrian Broner and Al Heyman being in Tank's corner.
Right, and a lot of people forget about that, Smoke. I think a lot of people forget that Adrian Broner was the one that brought Tank on.
Yeah,
Floyd
I
didn't
think
find Tank.
he had I think he already had a relationship. He understood what Mayweather Promotions was about. He had a relationship with Al Heyman.
Mm-hmm.
He knew how to like kind of navigate and play like kind of big brother in that situation
Mm-hmm.
to Tank. And I think that's why he didn't turn out to be like, Ashley Theophane. I also think he was more talented than guys like that. I think Mayweather did an okay job with Badu Jack.
He did a great job with Badu Jack. For real. It was the judges that was doing Badu Jack in.
No, Badu Jack was waiting to the last half of the fight to start fighting. He was just sit around for fucking 5 rounds.
Took a lot of punishment, man. Badu Jack was taking a lot of punishment, though, Kyle.
So how do y'all feel about?
I hear you. Go ahead.
How do y'all feel about Lomachenko ducking out on that Tank fight? After talking all that shit for all them years, now he's not motivated.
That's what he get. That's his. This is how you do it. That's exactly. See, at this point, he doesn't need Tank, but Tank needs him. So that all them years that you think that's going to erase the people's memory, at this point, all them years, Tank built up a nice bank account, lovely knockout ratio, and I think he's going to get to the Hall of Fame off that bullshit too. So, like, there's an argument to be made that like Tank doesn't need him either because he's still gonna get the Hall of Fame on this shit. But when you look at Tank's resume, it's not that good. You look at Loma's resume, it's pretty fucking good.
It's a really good resume. Tank's resume is aging like wine and not milk.
Who? Whose resume?
Last time I checked, Barrios and Pitbull are champions right now.
So
Leo Santa Cruz was a 4th division champion.
Yeah, he was that before he fought Tank.
Yeah, it's on the
listen, Leo Santa Cruz, he never fought again. I don't know how that's aging well. And then the other guys moved up to become champions in other weight classes, but they weren't champions in the weight. They weren't champions in the weight class that Tank fought him in. I mean, unless you count that world title, unless you count the secondary belt that Barrios has at WB. I mean, I don't really get involved in that shit.
The one that carries mandatory is absolutely.
I mean, they carried mandatories because they changed the rules that carries. And carries mandatory now. It didn't carry mandatories when he first got it.
Yes, it did.
No, it didn't. They changed that rule in like 20-something. When did they? They changed it while Tank was still. So while Tank still had his title. Like when the Association of Boxing Commissions came down to consolidate the belts and do all that shit, Tank had that fucking belt at that point, and I think Barrios had his still. I think that was before they fought.
Go ahead, Smoke. I'm sorry, but yeah, my phone dying. It's all good.
But anyway, it's around the same time. But it didn't used to have those mandatories. But yeah, I mean, having mandatories is cool if the mandatories are good, but just by virtue of having a mandatory doesn't make it
like the mandatories are good. So it only matters if the mandatories are good, not the fact that
listen.
Okay.
Right. So yes.
Mario Barrios is the WBC welterweight champion right now. Tank
at 147 pounds. If Tank fought him at 147 pounds, I'm picking Mario Barrios.
He would knock him out. Nothing would change.
Okay, awesome. So tell Tank
Pitbull Cruz is the WBA junior welterweight champion right now.
At 140 pounds. Tank did not fight him at 140 pounds.
They are still on his resume.
That's fine. He didn't fight them at those weights.
That's what I'm saying. They are still on his resume, regardless.
Okay, hold on a second.
So does that diminish his resume because he beat him at 135 and 140 and they moved up and became champions? Does that diminish or kind of polish his resume?
Okay, well, you tell me. If he would have beat them when they're champions in the division that he fought in, do you think that's more impressive than he beat them when they weren't champions and they moved up to a division and then became champions?
I think it goes to the caliber of fighter that he fought.
Okay, awesome. The caliber of fighter is at the division that they fought him in, they weren't championship material. That's the caliber of fighter they are.
But they moved up in weight and became champions.
And they fought different guys. They fought different people in different weights to become champions. Those are the kind of caliber of fighters they are. And they weren't good enough to be champions in the division that Tank fought them in.
I mean, if you only wanted to see Tank fight Shakur, Devin, and
No,
Theo,
I'm just
just
asking
say
you.
that, man.
Okay, listen. I'm just making it. I'm trying to figure out your argument about how it's such a great feat that they moved up to become champions when they couldn't achieve. It would be different. Like Leo Santa Cruz. Leo Santa Cruz was literally a champion. Leo Santa Cruz was a champion in all those divisions, right? So that he didn't just like skip around and become like he was a champion in those things. Those other guys fought in different divisions and were never fucking champs.
We both watched boxing long enough to know that opportunity has to also play a part of that.
Okay, but at the end of the day, all it is about opportunity.
Are we
right?
saying because okay, so we saying that Isak Cruz was an impressive 135 pounder because he didn't get to fight Teofimo Lopez?
I'm saying that that the guy was not.
If he'd have fought Comey, I'm saying
what I'm saying is
what
I'm saying is he didn't fight the guy though, so we'd never know. That's fine that you may think that, but that guy wasn't fighting him. And not only that was he not fighting him, the only reason why we even know Pitbull Cruz. Hold up a second, just so we get this out. The only reason why we even know Pitbull Cruz is because he was a last minute replacement, and he didn't get knocked out.
Right? But we see now. Oh wait, he's a champion.
Right, but he was a champion by fighting Rolly Romero. Right, he's a champion by fighting Rolly Romero.
But we saw that fight, though. We did see it.
Okay, cool. We also saw Rolly Romero, how he became champion.
Yeah.
Like how many guys, like Rolly Romero was not even in line for a title shot. He literally got a title shot after getting, and this very next fight, after getting knocked out from Tank in a different weight class. Like, man, you got to stop with this shit. No, this is not impressive, man. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to squint my eyes and say, oh, well, because Rolly and Isaac Cruz fought, now all of a sudden that's a better fight? Now all of a sudden, like, Tank's resume is better? Like,
it's also about opportunity. So if Barrios had got to fight Malik Hooker,
the caliber of fighter,
Barrios had got to fight Malik Hooker instead of Jose Ramirez, would Barrios be a champion right now?
Does that speak to the caliber fighter?
It goes to opportunity. You can't knock them not becoming champions in a weight class and then moving up,
which one is it?
Moving up, getting opportunities and becoming champions. You can't say that they wouldn't have been champions. Well, just because when Tank fought them, they weren't champions. So what? They're champions now. They didn't get the opportunities at 135 outside of Gervonta Davis. Now that they've gotten
Gervonta Davis wasn't the champion at 135.
They're champions.
Okay, you understand what I'm saying to you? Gervonta Davis. Bro, bro, can you just stop like interrupting for a second? I heard you say opportunities a bunch of times. Your opportunities don't speak to the caliber fighter you are. You said that they didn't get any opportunities at 135 for championships except for Tank Davis. Tank Davis was not a champion at 135. None of those fights were fucking championship fights.
Yes, he was.
The guys that Tank was fighting were not the champions. Teofimo was the fucking champion. Devin Haney was a champion. Ken Bothas was a champion. Comey was a champion. Leo said, right. Loma was like, all of these guys were fucking champions. That's not who they were fighting. Like, none of those guys were fighting any of the champions. They were all just fighting each other. And I'm supposed to be surprised. And you're asking me to be impressed by two guys who fought Tank, who that nobody thought was fucking very good, fighting each other to get a championship. That nobody thought the guy should even be in that fucking opportunity to begin with. Like, you know the conflation. You know the series of events. Let me get to this. I'm gonna let my plan. You can have it. The series of events went from the guy, the champion, Pop Dirty. That guy's a champion again, by the way. But yeah, the champion Pop Dirty. Fucking what was it? One of the Gary Smith. The Gary Russell Jr. Right, the Gary Russell, Antoine Russell. Right, that dude didn't want to fucking fight. The fight had to pass through 3 different fucking hands before it even got to Rolly, given the opportunity that you're just talking about. That should speak to the caliber of fighter that he is. And then even in that fight against that old ass fucking man Barrios, most people thought that Barrios dude, like after that dude dropped fucking Rolly, he got hurt, and maybe maybe the momentum was going in Rolly's favor, maybe it wasn't. But most fight fans felt like that was a pretty dissatisfying ending to that fucking fight, that Rolly fight. So, like, when you talk about the caliber fighter, we can talk about opportunities till the cows come home, and that's why the opportunity is why they're fucking champions, not because the caliber fighters that they are. The caliber fighter that they are, I don't know how we can say just to say that they're champions and therefore good. I don't know that holds up. You got it.
All right. All of that, well said, does not take away from the fact that Gervonta Davis has 3 champions on his resume.
Yeah, he's got 3 champions, right? And he's got 3 champions, and he's 30 years old. That's not fucking hot, man. That's not hot. Like, but Teofimo Lopez got that already. Like, come on, man. Like 3 Okay, cool. That's you just made my point.
Okay, let's count them up. Let's count them up. Let's count them up. Lomachenko, Comey, and Josh Taylor.
What?
Lomachenko, Comey, Josh Taylor.
Yes. 2 of them are pound for pound guys. When he fought him. Not just that's what I mean by caliber of fighter. Like you can talk about champions, and that's cool as a flat thing, but all champions are made the same. Like we're talking about, like Teo's out here fighting. Not only does he have the same amount of champions, but that dude got 2 pound for pound guys on his fucking resume.
Tell me Lomachenko's biggest win in 135.
His biggest win? I don't know that his biggest fights are not necessarily wins, but he's been in fights at least. At least he's fighting people.
He's a great fighter. Great fighter. He ain't
but I'm saying he's fighting people. Like we're not talking about resumes. Resumes are wins, loss, and draws. It's everybody that you're fighting. Tank don't have that.
Right. And since he moved up from 130, it's been kind of dry, hasn't it?
I'm talking about his entire career. Forget moving up from 130 at 126, at 130, at 135, at 140, like all of that shit.
Okay, so
we're talking about his whole resume.
You didn't want to talk about whole career. You wanted to talk about.
No, I'm talking about his resume. We said because you said
champions in weight class that he fought him in, but now that I bring up that Lomachenko wasn't.
No, again, no. Hold up a second. Wait a minute. Hold up. You said that. Okay, the question, the thing that I'm arguing, this back and forth in my mind is because based on the statement of Tank's victories are aging like wine. That's what I'm arguing. So I'm talking about all his victories.
And that loss to Kambosos is aging. Whoo, that's a bad loss.
Okay, awesome. He didn't fight, but Tank didn't fight Kambosos.
No, but everybody else.
Okay, but I'm just saying that. But Tank didn't fight Kambosos. Okay. Once again, the conversation is Tank's victories are aging like wine.
Absolutely, because he's got 2.
Okay, so Kambosos has nothing to do with this.
If we're speaking about resumes, you brought up Kambosos.
No, we're talking about Tank's victories. We're talking about Tank's victories.
But when you brought up Tio and all these other guys and Lomachenko,
but because you said Tank fought 3 champions. Because you said Tank fought 3 champions.
Okay, and he's got the same caliber of competition because these guys are 2 current champions right now.
Okay, right. When you say that, well, like I said, all champions are the same. What Tio was fighting with pound for pound guys on pound for pound list. Tank has never been in the ring against somebody. Hold up, can I get this out? Tank has never fought somebody on the pound for pound list. Never. The closest thing he got was Gamboa, who was on the pound for pound list at 126.
Tio fought 1 pound for pound guy.
He fought 2 pound for pound guys.
Oh, you mean Josh Taylor, who's coming off of injury, who had vacated 3 of his belts?
He wasn't coming off the injury at that point, but he was injured at some point.
No, his last fight before that was the
pound guys. Listen, if you want to say the pound for pound guy wasn't 100%, but wasn't his pound for pound form,
that arguably he lost.
Okay. Again, if you want to argue, it's cool. If you want to argue that guy wasn't in his pound for pound form, that you can argue that if you want. I'm just saying that Tank has never been in the ring with a pound for pound guy in any kind of pound for pound form. Never.
But you know that pound for pound list is subjective, though. So
we do know it's pound, but we do understand that does speak to the caliber of opposition, right? Pound for pound list does speak to that.
No, it doesn't. It speaks to the subjectivity of the list.
So you think there's some guys in the pound for pound list that can't fight? Because I think there's champions who can't fight.
I think people put heavyweights on their pound for pound list when they shouldn't.
I think I agree with you there, but I'm talking about people on the pound for pound list that can't fight. Because I'm saying the pound for pound list it speaks to caliber better than saying somebody's a champion.
I think we glazed Lomachenko very early.
We can do all that too, but Lomachenko's a bad dude too.
Yeah, he can fight, but ever
Yeah, he
since
can
he moved
fight.
up to
Like, I mean, I
135,
get you. Like,
ever since he's been
overrated.
fighting guys his size and bigger than him.
He might
I'm not
be
saying he's
hyped
overrated.
up. He might be overhyped. He might be overrated. But the dude, at the same time, that dude can fucking see. He got some squabbles.
Yeah, he can go. Not saying he can't.
He can't go for 12. He can go for like 2 or 3 at this point. But like he can go.
And I still want that fight. I still think he looks good.
I mean,
I'm
yeah,
not
he
one
does
of the
look
people
good for like 2 or 3 rounds. The other time, the other parts is whatever, kind of pedestrian. I'm not mad at the fight. I'm not particularly mad at the fight. I'm just saying that, like, I'm just saying that, like, at the end of the day, like, Tank needs for Loma, like, Tank needs old man Loma to bless him with with his legacy. That's what Tank needs.
Oh no! If that's what Lomachenko,
or else what Tank got?
Like, if that's
Tank
what
does not fight,
Lomachenko banking on, Tank can always move up, punch on. He can always find somebody else to punch on. He don't need to punch on Loma.
Okay, I got you. His bank account. Okay, when I say that, I'm talking about in order to have a legacy name on his resume. He can always just knock somebody off with some money. That's what I'm talking about.
Another legacy name.
I'm talking about, like, what I'm saying is, if he doesn't get Devin, Loma, Shakur, or Tio in the ring, then his fucking resume is going to look mediocre at fucking best. It doesn't matter what those guys do after they fucking fight Tank.
So he go in there, punch on Devin, knock Devin out.
I said,
we always knew Devin's chin was suspect. We saw what Ryan did to him. We seen him get cracked before. We always knew Devin's chin was suspect. Blase, blase, blah, whoopty, whoopty, whoop. Tank won't get no credit for knocking out Devin at this point.
Well, I'm just saying, if he don't get fucking Devin on his resume, these are the names that he needs on his resume. Like, all I'm saying. I don't say he has to fight all of them, but let's say he fights none of them. That's what I'm saying. If he fights none of them, like, you can say whatever the fuck you want about Devin Haney. Devin Haney would represent the best fighter on his fucking resume to date, by a long shot. Not even close.
True. 2 division champion, absolutely. Absolutely, I'm with you on that.
I mean, Leo was a 4th division champion, but Leo was like not undisputed, didn't have the same names on it, none of that shit.
Smoke, this is where I'm coming from. But we're not gonna sit here and act like because T.O. Well, I'm not even gonna say T.O. Well, yeah, because those 2 guys fought Lomachenko and Tank didn't. When outside of Lomachenko, their resumes actually line up together. I'm not willing to just go out here and say Tank's resume is dog shit compared to theirs because they actually got to fight Lomachenko.
Well, the issue isn't so much that there's the dog shit compared to theirs, based on just that one thing. To me, the issue of Tank's thing being dog shit compared to theirs is because they're younger than him and they're already better than him. Their resume is already better. That's really what makes it dog shit because of how long. I mean, he's had way fucking longer to amass his dog shit, his mediocre ass fucking resume.
Their resumes are also mediocre outside of
no, but I'm saying, but they're just starting though. That's all I'm saying is that they're like, listen,
not just starting. Like
Teofimo Lopez,
almost as many fights as him. Devin, I count fights. I don't care about age. I count fights.
Well, if fights is about the way you develop, right? Like, not everybody has the same kind of development.
So. As many fights as him.
What?
Devin has what? 28 fights.
Yeah.
Oh no, 30 fights. I think he's got 30 fights.
Yeah.
Like him and Tank got the same amount of fights, and their resumes line up.
But they don't line. Yeah, I mean, if you say they line up, I don't know what you mean by lining up.
Devin's resume ain't head and shoulders above Tank's resume. We're not.
I don't know what you mean by head and shoulders. All I'm saying is that Devin's resume is better than Tank's, and he's younger.
Because of one name?
No, because of the accomplishments. and
because of one name?
Just so we understand each other.
Okay,
just so we understand each other. Tank is a, to me. All right, this is what happens. So just
when you do that, this is what happens in my thought process, right? When you say that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can Pitbull Cruz beat George Kambosos?
I don't know.
Can Mario Barrios? Well, we kind of already know the answer to this because he chose not to fight him in one way or another, or he took the Tank fight instead of fight him. Can Mario Barrios beat Regis Prograis today? Right now, today.
Okay. So here's the issue that I'm having with your line of questioning, and really with your thought process in general.
I'm just saying,
Hold up a second, bro. Like I'm trying to follow it. I'm trying to have a conversation with you, but like when I'm talking, like you're talking, it's just getting fucking crazy. I'm just trying to understand.
I was trying to get all this out from my phone down.
Oh yeah, it's all good because just get your point out instead of asking me questions. And just make
no, go ahead.
Okay, cool. The issue that I have with the way that you frame your questions is that you're acting as though the guys that the Cambosos that Devin Haney fought in the first fight is the same guy today, or that the guy that Tank fought, the Mario Barrios that Tank fought, is the same Mario Barrios of today. These are not the same fighters. One guy got better, one guy got worse. But whatever the fuck it is, they weren't the same on fight night.
I'm just not the one to call his resume trash because he hadn't fought Lomachenko.
But that's a really reductive argument. Like the issue isn't that he didn't fight Lomachenko. The issue is, really, but part of it is that he could have fought Lomachenko for the last 8 years, but didn't. And now Lomachenko's I'll fight when I feel like it. So now, like, it looks like the Lomachenko, but like even the luster on the fight is changed because Lomachenko ain't fucking feeling it. So yeah, it looks like he ain't getting Loma on his resume. So it's not just that they have Loma on it. It's that, like, as a matter of fact, Tank could have had it, and Tank decided that he didn't want Loma on his resume until he got good and ready.
Oh, you mean he tried to fight Tank before Tank realized he was ready? And
no,
that's just my opinion.
I'm saying that.
Not saying that's his opinion.
What I'm saying is,
he tried to fight Tank back in 2017. As a lot of us know, even going back before that. But there was no real chance of that fight happening. No.
Right. So what I'm mentioning is that they're both champions at the same time in the same weight. And when Tank and Tank's team were talking about was waiting to put the fight on pay-per-view. So now that Tank is a pay-per-view fighter, Loma now is 8 years fucking later, Loma don't give a fuck. Because he's not a pay-per-view fighter. Tank is.
But but he gave a fuck when it was Devin. But now all of a sudden he don't give a fuck when it's Tank.
Well, Devin had all the belts. That's Loma wanted to have all the belts.
So you care about the belts or you don't?
Loma wanted to have all the belts, not a belt. He's already had 3 of the belts. He's already done this unification thing. He fought Devin Haney because Devin Haney had all the belts.
I think that man sat back and reevaluated life.
I think if he would have won the Devin Haney fight,
he might
I honestly think if Lomachenko beat Devin Haney, he would have retired that night.
Probably.
Right? This whole Tank thing. This is just to clean up Tank shit.
All that. Yeah. Well, Tank didn't make no mess for him to clean up. So
no, Tank made a mess by saying I'll fight Lomachenko on pay-per-view. Like I'll fight him later on pay-per-view. That's where Tank fucked up.
That was a unification fight. He wanted on pay-per-view.
What? That's fine. He wasn't on pay-per-view back then. It took me years to get on pay-per-view.
Well, he's been on pay-per-view for years.
I know. I got it. And he wasn't calling Loma's name out then either. When Loma had belts and Tank was fighting on pay-per-view, he didn't say Loma's name. He wasn't talking about that fight.
Oh, because every fighter that call out everybody makes the fight happen, right?
Okay, again, whether he called him out or didn't call him out, he didn't make the fucking fight. He said, I'm going to fight him later. He kicked that can down the road, and it looked like he kicked the fight. Okay, like right now, all I'm saying is this.
Mayweather, they wasn't on Top Rank.
But all I'm saying is that when Top Rank was talking about calling him out, doing all this shit, what the guy said was, I'll fight you later on pay-per-view. And now, it turns out, later on pay-per-view is now 8 years later.
Because back in 2017, I also heard Loma say pretty much the same shit. Like, I'm in a contract with Top Rank. You know, it's a difficult situation. I'm in a contract with Top Rank. He's on. No. I'm fighting on ESPN. He's fighting on Showtime.
They didn't say that. That's not what the issue is.
Mouth. I remember the interview. It came out of Vasily Lomachenko's mouth. It's a difficult situation. I fight on ESPN. He fights on Showtime. So they had to figure that situation out. So that fight was never real. That
Okay,
came out of
hold up a second. You're misunderstanding what I'm saying. I'm telling you what the issue is with Tank. The issue with Tank isn't about siloed off fucking networks and shit like that. Whatever. That's everybody's fucking problem. That's not a specific issue to Tank. What Tank's problem is that Tank said, I'll fight him later on pay-per-view. That's what his problem is.
So
I fight you later on pay-per-view. Turned out to be 8 years later.
So now that the fight's going to be on pay-per-view, Lomachenko don't want the fight.
Yeah, because that's what Tank, exactly. Loma was talking about fighting him then. Not later on pay-per-view. That's what Tank's issue is. It took him 8 years to fucking come out with some talks.
Because Tank, and I know because Tank's been on pay-per-view since what, 2019, and Loma was chasing this person, that person, that person. Wasn't worried about Javante.
No, he was worried about Deontay. He was worried about him when Tank was 22 and 23 years old. That's when they were trying to make the fight. Back then, Tank said, "I'll fight you later on pay-per-view."
So now that he's 29, 30, and he's trying to make the fight, Lomachenko don't want the fight.
Yeah, now Loma's like, I'm 36 and I don't give a fuck about that. I got enough money, like whatever.
Okay, then it's just like if we gonna sit here and say Tank messed it up, then we can sit here and say Loma's messed it up.
Yeah, I'm saying the problem though is like Lomachenko has already fought the fights. Like, Lomachenko can look back at his resume and say, I fought the fights. I tried to fight the fights, and like when it came to Tank, I tried to fight Tank. I tried to fight Tank.
Like I wanted Javante Davis for years. As soon as the fight was actually able to be made, I went back.
Well, I didn't say. Listen, I didn't say he tried to make the fight for years. What I said was he tried to make the fight in 22 and 23. Okay, wait a second. Wait. Just so we understand each other. What I'm saying, he tried to fight him years ago. Not that he's been trying to fight him for years. Years ago, for about a year, he tried to fight him. But that was a long time ago. For about a year, he tried to fight him. But during that time when he's trying to fight him, what Tank's response was I'll fight him later on pay-per-view. So at that point, there's no reason for Lomachenko to say any fucking thing else. That's what Tank's problem is.
So we gonna blame Javante Davis for Lomachenko turning down.
No, I'm blaming Tanks. I'm having Tank be held responsible for the shit that Tank says and does.
Okay,
Tank is the one who said, "I will fight you later on pay-per-view." The fact that it took him 8 years to fucking make that thing happen, and now hold up a second, because I feel like we're talking about each other at this point that we should already resolve before your phone dies. Like literally, they're talking about making a fight.
True to his word. I will fight you on pay-per-view. It sounds like he's holding.
I'll fight you later on pay-per-view. Turned out to be 8 years. That's what Tank's problem is.
I'm sorry. Is Lomachenko on a 4 or 5 fight losing streak and just got knocked out?
No.
Or is he a champion?
No. Okay, cool.
Like he's a champion right now.
You know what? He's definitely a champion.
Okay.
He's not on a 4 or 5 losing streak, no.
So it sounds to me like Javante held true to his word. I'll fight you later on pay-per-view. Now that the fight's able to be made and I'm not 21, 22 years old, I've actually matured in the sport, and I'm not fighting some 2-3-time Olympic champion who's coming in here running through people who I don't really know much about outside of he's an Olympic champion. I'll fight you later on pay-per-view.
Yeah, that's fine. Like I said, that right there, that's what he has to contend with.
You've been on pay-per-view one time in your entire life. You've been on pay-per-view one time in your entire life.
Yeah.
I'm blessing you with a pay-per-view fight, and now you don't want it all of a sudden.
Yeah. Again, he's not. Okay. Hold on a second. So right now, you're convicting Lomachenko because he's not Tank Davis. Tank Davis is the pay-per-view fighter. Tank Davis is the one talking about pay-per-view. Loma was never on that fucking. Loma was not talking about fighting on pay-per-view. None of that shit. It's not Loma's fault that Loma's not Tank Davis. Like Loma doesn't speak. The dude don't speak English. How the fuck is he gonna be on pay-per-view? He's not worried about that shit. Clearly.
A lot of fighters that don't speak English that be on pay-per-view.
I'm just saying. All I'm saying that Loma does not seem to be caring about that shit. Just because other people may care about it,
Yeah,
Loma. Do you understand? Just so we understand
crazy how
this
that
thing.
happened.
Lomachenko, before outside of Tank Davis, made more
It's
money under
crazy how he
147
slid
pounds
out that
than
back
anybody
door.
ever.
It's like, cause he did, but we gonna wait and see, cause it's crazy. I want to see who Lomachenko fights next, because it's crazy how he slid out that back door out of fighting
Not really. It's
Shakur,
not that
but
crazy.
end up fighting and end up fighting Cambosis. It's crazy
No,
how he
I know.
slides
No,
out the back door.
the reason why it's not that crazy is because Lomachenko has already been in there and fought the fights. The issue that, and this is what I'm saying.
Lost.
This is how we got
And
here.
lost.
This is how we got
And
here.
lost.
Okay,
He
that's
fought
fine,
the fight.
bro.
So, I mean, we give
Okay,
out
hold on.
moral
As a
victories
fight,
now. He went in
as
there with Devin Haney and lost. He went in there with Teofimo and lost.
yes, and he also went there with Orlando Salido and lost. He also went there Nicholas Waters and won. He also went in there. No, he beat Nicholas Waters. He also went Walters.
He beat Nicholas Waters.
Yes, he beat. He only lost 3 times. We talked about all his losses. Now we talk about all the other names that he fought and beat.
I mean,
Gary Russell
talking
Jr.
about all these
He went in there.
fights.
He went in there with Gary Russell Jr. and won.
Been in them and lost.
He beat Gary Russell Jr. He did not lose to Gary Russell Jr.
No, you're right. You're right.
Right. We talked about the losses, but all I'm telling you is the reason why Loma is not going to get the same kind of criticism as Tank is because Loma, win, lose, or draw, fought the fights. Tank is winning, but he's not fighting the fights.
And my argument is, then he's fighting the fights. He's just making them look easy.
Ain't nobody worrying about no fucking Rolly. Okay, but Pitbull, tell me which fight is the fight? Which fight did he fight?
When I promise you, Frank Martin will be a better win at 135 than anything Lomachenko has at 135.
How is Frank Martin going to be a better win? Okay, first off, again, you keep
Be a better win
hold on a second. When you talk about resumes,
he'll be a better win.
When you talk about resumes,
he'll be a better win than Luke Campbell.
Okay,
he'll be a better win than Nakatani.
When you talk about resumes, you're talking about all the fights that you fought, not just the ones you won.
No, don't die now. Don't die now. Oh, my phone died.
Yeah. No, he didn't die. Yeah, he's still there. I mean,
Elliot. Yeah, man. Yeah, lock up on. Nah, I'm not my phone out. StreamYard kills your phone, man. I gotta go put it up in the car.
Yeah, it does. It's like it's killing my fucking battery right now. Let me turn the fan on this shit. But yeah, I just like so. When you talk about resumes, you're talking about wins, losses, and draws, not just the best win. Like it's saying that beating Frank Martin is going to be the better win than Lomachenko. But like Lomachenko has a much better resume at 135 than Tank Davis, even though he's fucking lost twice at 135. He still has a better resume at 135. You know, Trevor Burbick fucking having Muhammad Ali in his resume didn't like make his resume like better than or even Leon Spinks. It didn't make his resume better than James Bone Crusher Smith. Like, cool, you got a good win on there. Doesn't make your resume better. It just doesn't. You got to fight more than that shit. But yeah, I talk to myself now. How can I say he doesn't fight the fights when he's trying to fight Loma? Again, this fight has been marinated for 8 years, and Loma ain't fucking interested at this point. And like I was saying, at the end of the day, Loma's resume is kind of cemented, right? Like the only 2 guys he hasn't fought is Tank and fucking Shakur. Right, but that guy has like win, lose, or draw, step through the ropes to face his opposition. Tank is not doing that. I don't know, like what, like how arguing around this fact makes it less of a fact or something. I don't know. I don't think that this kind of supportive Tank actually does him any favors. Also, he kind of fucking Tank's ass, but maybe that's just me. I mean, just because you agree with the shit that DJ was saying doesn't mean I was getting cooked. Like you think that when I say he's not fighting the fights, you think him trying to fight a fight equals him fighting the fights. Like literally, the dude. Like I'm looking at his resume, I'm looking at what's on there, and it is not fighting the fights. It's not. The guy hasn't stepped in the fucking in the ring with a champion in the division that he fought in since he fought fucking Pedraza. Hey, what what am I supposed to do? I guess you could say Leo Santa Cruz. Leo Santa Cruz, he was a champion. All right. I mean, I guess it would be Leo Santa Cruz. I mean, but Leo Santa, they also fought at the one. Whatever. I'll say that Leo Santa Cruz in his fourth weight division, and the guy was pillow fisted, even at 122 pounds. Like the guy couldn't. Anyway, his power didn't even translate up to from like 118. Like really, I don't even think he had power back then. Not even at 118, he didn't. Anyway, it is what it is. I think Tank is not going to be like at a certain point. People are going to try to turn Tank into like a boogeyman and say everybody's ducking him and shit. Yeah, whatever. I don't have time for this shit. Like all of a sudden, like now the Tank wants to come outside at 30 years old after being on top for 8 years and being in championship form, but out not fighting for championship belt or champions in his divisions. Now all of a sudden he's the boogeyman. Like okay. That's the same shit that Shakur was trying to sell us, and I don't think it'll go. It didn't go over well with Shakur. I don't think it's going to go over well with Tank. But try it. I'm a Tank fan also. Like I just don't think that this is a very helpful um, line of argumentation. Right? It's not a successful angle, in my opinion, to like try to turn Tank into some victim or some guy who's just like out there doing his best to make fights and shit. Meanwhile, the guy's like triple A side over every fucking body. Like whatever. Yeah, we can come up here and chop it up. You guys feel froggy about this shit? Like, I don't know what you mean by Loma praise. I don't even know what stating facts about Lomachenko equals praising him.
Oh shit! Oh, right on time.
I mean, I'm stating facts about Tio. Am I praising him? I'm stating facts about Tank. Am I
No,
praising him?
I think bringing up the past, you might not even get a whole lot of argument with me. I don't think Tank desired to fight him at that time with the whole debacle with Mayweather. You know, that's public information, right? They both said different things about that situation, but it all equaled him not fighting him. So you'll get no resistance from there. But you talked about Lomachenko's intentions. You said he would have retired after the Devin Haney fight if he had won, but he didn't, right? And he's still in the division. He fought Kambosos for a belt. Now he has a belt. Should have get off the pot. If you're not going to unify the belts, lead a fucking division.
I mean, that's one way he could. I mean, it's up at this point. It's up to him. All I'm saying to you is, when it comes right down to it, Lomachenko does not need a Tank name on his resume. Like, when it comes down to who needs that name on their resume to make their shit better. Yeah,
well,
like Loma's just fine.
For Loma to stay relevant at this point in his career, he needs Tank more than Tank needs him. Loma may have 2 gold medals, but he also stayed in the Olympics for quite a while. He didn't come into the professional ranks until he was in his 30s. So I think it's the other way around. And it wasn't Tank. It wasn't Tank saying that he didn't want to fight Loma when Loma first mentioned he wanted to fight Tank. It was the Mayweather Promotions crew that didn't want that fight to happen. Tank always said he wanted to fight him.
Right. So
again, when he finally did say we'll fight him on pay-per-view, he was mimicking what his promoters had schooled him on.
That's fine.
He never shied away from that. And just like all the other fighters that we didn't see him fight, that was his crew fixing it that way. That's why he's taking over his own affairs, and he said, "I'm fighting all of these guys." And last time I checked, there was only 3 guys in the professional ranks that had a network deal offered to them for $200 million plus, and Tank is the 3rd one. And as far as I remember, Canelo didn't get to complete his package deal because he had a dispute with De La Hoya and crew. So Tank don't need Loma for anything, and Tank got champions on his resume as well. He's got Pedraza, he's got Leo, he's got Rolly. Even though he's a questionable champion, he was still a champion.
He was not.
He's got Barrios. He's got.
He was also not a champion.
Who was not a champion?
Barrios and Rolly.
Rolly was a champion, even though he didn't earn it. He was a champion. It's documented.
Okay,
it's documented. He was a champion.
Hold up a second. He fought Rolly at 135.
It don't matter. We talking about past, present, and current champions.
Hold up a second. He didn't fight him.
Rolly was a champion.
No, he didn't fight. He was not a champion. Okay, hold up a second. When Tank fought him, he was not a champion. He wasn't a past champion.
Yes, he was.
He wasn't a current champion.
He was a champion before. He was a champion before him and Tank fought.
No, he was not.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was. Go check it.
You're just wrong about it, but it's all good.
Yes, he was.
No, he was
had
not.
a belt. He had a belt that none of us agreed about. I mean, it may not have been a major. It was.
Okay,
I forget which sanction about it was. But he had a championship before him and Tank
fought. These are the kind of belts that when it comes to Tank's resume, this is the kind of shit we got to talk about. Some belts that don't fucking matter. That's what I'm saying, man. Like, why are we doing this?
Well, you got to understand, everybody that's supposed to have been the fighters that Tank has faced that people thought could beat him, he's beat him by knockout.
Who did Tank fight that we thought he was gonna lose?
They thought Leo would get him.
Who?
Leo could outbox him, but he got knocked out.
Who?
They thought Rolly could beat him.
You said they.
But Rolly got knocked out.
Who?
They thought that
who is
the boy that just got the boy just got hit for Austrian. The boxing pundits. They thought that. Hold on. They thought that what's the kid name? The one that just got banned. The one that just got banned. Ryan Garcia. They thought he would beat him.
They did not.
He got knocked out.
Do you understand that? Do you understand that Tank Davis has been the underdog in one fight in his entire life?
Man, I ain't looking at the bookies. I'm talking about the so-called.
I don't know
There
why.
there was a lot of
why you're not talking about the
YouTubers.
bookies?
There was a lot of
You know why you're
YouTubers
not
out
talking
here
about the bookies?
thinking that these guys were going to beat Tank, and there was a lot of boxing coaches thought that these guys were
You know
going
why
to
you're
beat
not
him.
talking about the bookies though? Because the bookies had him as a favorite in every fight outside of Pedraza. That's why.
There was a lot of so-called boxing pundits. Forget the bookies. I ain't talking about the bookies
You
right
know
now.
why? You know
There was
why
a lot
you want to forget the
of
bookies?
so-called boxing
You know why
pundits
you want to
that
forget
thought
about
that
the
he would
bookies?
lose to Leo. Thought that he would lose to they actually thought that he was going to possibly lose to Pedraza.
Cool. Whatever controversial thing that somebody can say online to get some viewership has absolutely no bearing.
Pedraza YouTube wasn't that big with boxing.
Bro, like I don't
when he fought Pedraza.
Can I get my shit off without you like just continue to interrupt? Like I'm trying to make some points too.
So anyway, smoke. You know we go way
bro,
back,
can I
man.
just
You know
make
you
some
the
points,
best
man?
interrupter of all
Let me
people.
just listen to you drone on. It's all good, bro. I don't got
you
shit
know
to
you
say.
the best
I don't have nothing to say.
interrupter.
I just let me listen to you.
Now go ahead, say what you got to say, bro.
I'm trying to, man, but you keep interrupting like in mid sentence. Like, can I get this off? Thank you. Again, when it comes to his money, that's not what the conversation's about. Tank is fine. Tank continue out knocking people out for all the money in the fucking world, and he doesn't need Lomachenko, Shakur, Tio. Nobody do that shit. He can keep dredging up all these Latin dudes and make a gazillion fucking dollars. Cool. Yes, he doesn't need fucking Loma for that. Not even the conversation. Whether or not you're talking like Loma's staying relevant or not relevant, I'm not even sure what you mean by that. But I think that Lomachenko is still going to have a high degree, like he's going to be high in demand. I think that he could fight Shakur, and that would be a pretty high. That fight will be in high demand. I don't think it's like tank or bust. I don't think it's tank or bust when it comes to Lomachenko and names he could fight that would make him relevant, and also maybe even like add some cachet to his fucking record and add to his legacy. I'm not saying that Tank doesn't add to his legacy. I'm saying that when it comes to Lomachenko's legacy, he fought the guys, win, lose, or draw at the time they were hot and all this other shit. He did that already. He's done that more than once. And so the book on the Loma doesn't have to wear the jacket of you didn't fight the best guys in your division. Win, lose, or draw, Loma did that. Tank has not.
But just like you said, Tank didn't fight Loma when Loma wanted to fight him. Loma didn't fight Devin when Devin wanted to fight him.
No, but he fought him at some point.
Before when at that time between Loma and Devin had all the belts between the two of them, and Loma didn't try to make that fight. He chose the franchise belt and gave up the real WBC.
Yes, but he fought him. At the end of the day, he fought Devin Haney at 135 when Devin Haney was
afterwards.
No, Devin Haney was still hot, bro. Devin Haney,
he still ducked that fight. He still ducked that fight, just like you said. Tank didn't fight him. Okay. Same difference.
Okay, so the difference of what I'm saying when it came to Tank and this whole thing is I said he fought those guys when they're hot. As a matter of fact, when Loma fought Devin Haney, he was hotter than he was. Bro, like, why do you keep interrupting? Like, bro, this is getting like really.
We're not disputing the fact that you said that the fight didn't happen.
I'm listening to you to get your so I can
because I'm gonna tell you why I'm interrupting now because you keep talking around the bush about the same old thing. Smoke, you've been saying this for over an hour. Let me tell you something. Tank did not control his career. Tank did not control. If you would say Tank didn't control his career, and I could agree with you. But you're not saying that. You saying Tank. You talking like Tank didn't want the man. He didn't want to fight the man. He did want to fight the man.
Can I make my point?
You ain't making a point. Your point ain't. You ain't making no valid point.
I'm trying, bro.
You acting like Tank was not. You act like Tank was in control of his career back then. He wasn't.
Okay.
He just became in control of his career.
Okay. You want to keep making more points, or can I respond to the 3 other points you made before you make 3 more points? So you already said that shit about him and his team, and you also said that he said it out of his own mouth. If you want to say that he's just parroting his team, and all of a sudden now he's not responsible for the shit that come out of his mouth, okay, you can make that argument. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that whoever came up with the idea, he was down with the fucking idea. It was their idea, and he out of his own.
But you're saying you're not. You speaking. You're saying that he didn't want to. You saying that he didn't want to fight, and that's a lie.
I didn't say that.
That's a flat lie.
I didn't.
That's a flat lie.
I didn't say that. What I said was he said
And he didn't duck. He didn't duck Loma. He didn't have control of his career.
Okay, again,
that's two different situations.
Again, I didn't say he ducked him. I didn't say who had control of his career. None of that shit is what I said. What I said was he said he will fight him later on paper. That's what he said. That's what the team said. Now, if you want to say he was just parroting what his team said,
bro.
you get. If you want to just say he was parroting what his team said, cool.
Something wrong with your phone, man.
Mine? Can you hear me?
Yeah, you done pissed smoke off. He done dropped his headset.
Nah, I'm here.
We can hear you now. We can hear you now. You were going in and out at first.
Can you hear me? Okay. Anyway, like I was saying, I never said he ducked him. I didn't say he didn't want to fight him. I said what I said was when it was time to make the fight back then, he said I'll fight him later on pay-per-view. That's what his team said. That's what he said. So I'm not interested in this. I'm not interested in that. I'm not interested in. At one point, just so we understand each other. At one point, he was saying, "I want to fight Loma," and his team was saying, "No."
You just not saying that. It took you over an hour to say that. You just not saying that.
I've been saying that.
You didn't say that. Did he say that? D Scholar, did he say that?
Yes, I've been saying the same shit over and over again.
Man. You said
again. I don't need
this. I've been laying here listening to you for about an hour, bro.
Awesome. So,
you were saying that he was saying, hold on.
How much you want to bet? That's what I've been saying. I've already said that.
I'm gonna tell you what I heard you say. I'm gonna tell you what I heard you say.
Forget what you heard. How much you want to bet? I don't care what you heard. Fuck what you heard. Well, how much you want to bet? Fuck what you heard.
You said
I don't care what you heard. I don't want to argue what you heard.
You said that he would fight him on pay-per-view. You said pay-per-view. You never said that Tank said he wanted to fight him then. You never said that until now. You just not saying that, bro.
That's what's been my entire point. The entire time is what I've been saying. You want to bet or not?
I didn't hear you say it.
Awesome, cool. That's what I've been saying the entire time. I didn't say the shit that you said. I said. Well, in fact, what I said was
you said Tank said I'll fight you.
Maybe if you stop interrupting, like while I'm talking, you'll hear what I'm saying. Maybe you stop talking while I'm talking, you'll hear what I'm saying.
No, for a long time I was backstage listening to the show.
I know, awesome. And ever since you've been on stage, you've been talking while I'm talking and getting my shit wrong.
I've been hearing you talking that dumb stuff.
Cool. But how come you don't understand what I'm saying? How come you don't get my point?
I've been hearing a biased Tank conversation. What I've been hearing.
Now you're just judging what I'm saying instead of listening.
I've been hearing a biased Tank conversation. That's what I've been hearing.
Right, and you don't even know what my point is. So maybe even your own characterization of my point is wrong. It's not biased. It's literally nothing I said is not a fact.
I've been hearing a biased Tank conversation. That's what I've been hearing.
Okay, cool. Your characterization of my conversation is different than what I'm actually saying. Like I said, what Tank said.
You might want to change it up now, but that's not you. You said something a little different than what you were saying earlier. I promise you
how much you want to bet it's not?
Ask somebody else. Ask somebody else.
Bet it's not. Well, stop saying what I said was fucking wrong. We can prove
anybody else hear him say something different? Anybody else hear him say something different?
And I'll bet anybody who says that they did. Anybody who come up here and said I said something different, I don't give a shit what you heard. I'm talking about what I said.
I don't even understand the argument no more.
Yeah, cool. So let's get back to it.
Now this was
So the argument was this. So the
I was pointing out to him that he just now saying that Tank wanted Tank was saying he wanted to fight at first, and then later on he was talking about pay-per-view. At first he was just saying Tank said I'll fight you on pay-per-view. He never said anything about Tank originally wanted to fight. The Mayweather promotion team stopped that fight. Okay. Tank always said he wanted to fight the dude. Then later on, he said something about pay-per-view, fight him on pay-per-view.
Okay, all right. So how it happened?
I never heard you saying this. I never heard you mimic the same thing I was mimicking until
because
just now.
You won't shut the fuck up long enough for me to say anything.
No, nigga, I was on backstage for a long time.
You won't shut the fuck up long enough for me to say anything.
Puff that blunt, nigga. Puff that blunt.
Talk right now. You won't shut up.
I was backstage listening a long time.
Can you stop? Can you go backstage some more so I can talk and maybe you can listen?
Why you think we were typing in a text about what you were saying?
And everything you typed in the text,
we were disputing what you were saying in the text in the chat.
Because you listen, you got some biased ass ears. That's why.
No, you were talking biased. You were speaking biased about Tank. That's all it was. Just admit it.
That's crazy.
Can I talk like without you interrupting me or what? So anyway, like I was saying, I'm not. Listen, I can't speak. I can't speak to what you hear.
Eat some salad,
I can only speak to what I said. So when speaking to what I said was that Tank, if he does not
remember what you said, man.
I can. Can I get it out without you interrupting or what? I mean, I don't understand what's going on with you, man. Like, come on, you're too old for this shit. Like, you're gonna give me a fucking aneurysm. Like, what the hell are you doing? Anyway.
Man, you
What?
know you ain't about to
Okay,
have no
you want to talk
aneurysm.
some more? I'll go backstage. You can just talk about my opinion. You don't want to hear what my opinion is. You want to tell me what it
No,
is.
you ain't about to have no aneurysm, man. You know you feeling good right now.
No, I'm not,
Shoot.
bro. I'm too hot for this conversation. It's not that fucking deep. And can I just get through this
You
fucking
ain't
thing?
you
Without
ain't
you
got nothing. You ain't got no
mischaracterizing, man.
trees.
Like, here we go. You talking some more?
You don't
Well,
have no
look, you
trees.
got
You
it,
don't
bro.
have any trees
I'm
right
gonna
now.
charge my phone now. You got it.
You don't have any trees with you right now.
Why are you worried about my tree? Can I get my thought out without listening to your thoughts?
'Cause I know
mean,
you
all
keep
right,
trees.
whatever. If I
I
have
know
trees
you
and not
keep
have
trees,
trees,
so you
can
shouldn't
you
be
wait?
stressed.
Whatever questions you have for me, can you wait till I'm done talking to pose them?
You shouldn't be stressed, bro.
Okay, but I am, and I keep telling you why I am, and you won't stop. What's up with that?
Oh my God.
Y'all got some bias ass ears, man. So this is what I say to that, man. Regardless of the history, man, we could address the present, and he's a title holder. It would be different if he was like Frank Martin and didn't have a belt. You know what I mean? Tank, there's nobody at 35s that beats him, bro. Regardless of what you think about Tank, he fucks up Shakur. Keyshawn Davis, still a prospect. He fucks him up as well. There's nobody that could beat Tank. He probably could get undisputed at 135. I think a real challenge for Tank probably is at 140, more than likely, right? So with that being said, he's going to get undisputed at 135, and Loma's in his way, right? Loma said, well, allegedly, right? This is all alleged because I've never seen the actual official documents. I just heard people talk about it. But they said that Loma was willing to take step-aside money so that Shakur could fight Tank. I'm like, bro, I knew then that didn't sound right. Like, what? Like, bro, you're getting older. Do you want undisputed or not? Like, what was the point of fighting Cambosis? Just to say you got a title again? If you're not gonna go for undisputed, bro, it's too many young, hungry lions there. He's doing the same shit Canelo's doing at 168. Fight or get off the pot. Simple as that, bro. The history doesn't matter. He has a belt and he's in the way. He either gonna fight or not.
Do you think Tank is gonna be undisputed 135? What if Tank's
Who's gonna
never
stop
undisputed
him?
135? Is that
Who's
still
in his
Loma's
way?
fault?
No, there's no one at 135 that beats Tank, man. No one.
Again, I didn't say this. I didn't say that people could beat Tank when it was stacked. I still think like Tank might have been the best back then, but we're talking about whether or not he's going to be undisputed, not whether or not he could beat everybody.
Yeah, I don't think anybody beats him. If he could beat
Awesome,
everybody
but
there,
you might have thought
he's a
that 2
live
years
dog, bro.
ago. Did you think that 2 years ago?
No, I'm thinking now.
Okay, cool. So some people thought that 2 years ago. He's never been undisputed. I still here's the thing. Just because you may think that Tank is the best guy in the division that he competes in, doesn't mean he's going to get all the belts.
Yeah, but something's happened in those 2 years. Tank has already said out of his mouth, which I don't even understand why people was arguing this shit, that he doesn't care about legacy. But now how he's moving, like the fight with Loma, it seemed like he's moving more towards legacy. Like he's trying to get
Well, he just
undisputed.
recently said he wants to become undisputed.
Or this is just
So
cover for him. I mean, I don't know.
he said out his own mouth recently that he wants to become undisputed right before the Frank Martin fight. When he was doing some interviews while he was promoting that fight. Now, I believe him because the man's taken over his career, and he's been saying for the last year plus, probably last 2 years, ever since he's been trying to get out from under Mayweather, he's been saying he's going to fight all those guys.
Right. So, how is he going to fight all those guys if he doesn't give them offers that they can't refuse?
I don't know that he's not giving anybody. He's got a package
Apparently,
deal.
Loma just
Hold on,
refused it, right?
he's got a package deal on the table right now.
I know, but I didn't say.
That motivates him to make these fights happen.
Okay.
So that's what he just said himself, and that he wants these fights to happen. I believe him and his team.
Okay,
because his team is not it's not the mouthpiece of Mayweather. It's not the mouthpiece of Leonard Ellaby. It's him and his trainer I'm speaking. So I trust what they say.
Right. So the mouthpiece of what you're saying, that right, they've said a whole bunch of shit. His mouthpieces and Tank. They don't care about belts. They do care about
mouthpieces
oh my
anymore.
holy God, dude! Like
there are no mouthpieces
I don't
anymore,
understand how
bro.
you guys can ramble on and I get out like 3 words and you got some more shit to say.
Why you said, man? You
can I get my entire shit out? Can I get it off?
Something up with you, man.
Yeah, I know. What's up with me is every time I talk, I get interrupted. That's what's up with me. I wish it stopped. Anyway, so like I was saying, When Tank and Tank's camp says a lot of shit. I don't know what I'm going to hang my hat on. Some of it comes to pass, some of it doesn't. I'm not necessarily calling him a liar. I'm just saying that like I don't necessarily like. I don't know. I just don't know what's happening there. They maybe all of a sudden now, like you said, he said he didn't care about belts, even though he's paying sanction fees. But now he's saying he want to be undisputed. Okay, my question wasn't whether or not he has a big war chest and he's willing to spend it. My question was giving them offers that they can't refuse. So maybe, like for instance, like when the Zone came over and they had that big war chest, and Eddie Hearn was talking about he got $1 billion. He's going to bring everybody to the Zone. Maybe Tank is talking about I have a big fucking deal from Amazon. Come fight me on Amazon. Maybe guys won't go to Amazon, and instead to get those fights, those undisputed fights, they may have to be either cross network fights, or maybe he has to go to ESPN for those fights. Is he talking about going to ESPN to become undisputed? I don't think so. Are people going to leave their other people going to leave their networks because Tank gave them a really good offer? Maybe they will. Maybe they won't. That's all I was saying. I don't know that just because he got a lot of money, that means he's going to become undisputed because he can beat everybody. Maybe he will, maybe he won't.
He 1/4 of the way there. He got a belt. 3 more
He's
belts.
definitely quarter way. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's a little bit like it's a little absolute though, right? It's either you are undisputed or you're not.
The best payday is going to come with a Tank fight for anybody at 135. So that's motivation for the other fighters right there. And Tank's part of his money is not going to be a problem. So it shouldn't be a problem for him, for the fighters to get whatever their market value is.
Did we ever get Charlo versus Boo Boo Andre? The answer is no. Did we get that? Did everybody talk about how?
Hey, hold on.
Did they talk about?
You're gonna answer the question. Let somebody answer, man.
Point, man.
If you're gonna answer the question,
triggered by 3 words I say. Let me get my whole shit out.
Don't just make half-cocked statements, man. We know what happened at that fight.
We know why that fight didn't happen. Interrupting.
It ain't got nothing to do with what Tank is doing.
Again, if you wait a second, you'll see how it has something to do with it. Like I was saying, the reason we didn't get Boo Boo Andre versus Charlo, even though they talked about how much money there was for that fight, even though we talked about how lucrative that fight was going to be for Charlo. They talked about a package deal to fight fucking Boo Boo Andre. They talked about just $7 million at one point, but the fight never came off because one of the stipulations was Charlo had to leave his network to go fight on the Zone. Maybe, just maybe, all of the money, even though it's maybe that one fight might be more lucrative for the guy, but maybe ESPN will have a series of fights for the totality of those fights. It'll be more money than just the one offer Tank. I don't know because I have not seen the offers. All I'm saying is we have seen in boxing that just because you have a lot of money for a single fight, or a guy has a bunch of money and try to lure talent over, that doesn't necessarily work. That's all I'm saying. I don't know that it's like a foregone conclusion. Not saying it's not going to happen. I'm just saying I'm not as certain as you guys are.
Well, bump all that, man. I ain't. You pull the straws to make up debates and arguments right now. The fact that the only thing I really wanted to contest what you was talking about earlier is who needed who. I don't feel that Tank needs Loma at this point in his career. He's younger. He's one of the faces of boxing. He's still got things he want to prove. He's already considered a 3-time champion. 3-division champion. He don't need Loma. Loma need him more than he needs Loma, in my opinion.
Right. I mean, it depends on what it is we're talking about. The only way I was talking about him leading him is to boost up the legacy, like not only the caliber of competition, but also the legacy of the fighters that he's fighting. Right. And that's what I'm saying. Like, just like Boo Boo. Like, Boo Boo was around for the Charlo guys. He could have fought Canelo. He could have J-Rock, fucking Hurd. He was there for all that shit. He was there for Lara. He didn't fight none of those dudes. He was there for fucking Triple G. He was there for other Charlo. He was there for Canelo again. None of those guys. Daniel Jacobs didn't fight him. He was supposed to fight Billy Joe Saunders. That shit fell through because of Billy Joe Saunders, but he still never fought him. Didn't fight Liam Wilson. Like I'm saying, you can come up with reasons. Whatever the fuck it is. The difference between Boo Boo and Tank is Tank makes way fucking more money. So because he's making more money, sure, he can keep doing that shit. The same bullshit opposition that Boo Boo was fighting, Tank can still keep doing that, knocking him out and making a whole bunch of money. However, when it comes to the fighters he's fighting, they don't bring you any great legacy. Frank Martin ain't bringing you no fucking legacy. That goddamn with Mario Barrios becoming a champion later is not bringing you no fucking legacy. Neither is goddamn Pitbull Cruz and Rolly becoming champions later. Like, man, get out of here with this shit. Come on, guys.
Hey, I told you. I mean, you'll get no argument about the past. But currently speaking, at 135 pounds, Tank is a belt holder, right? And so is Lomachenko. And when Tank tried to unify the belts, Lomachenko said no. That's where we at with it, right? Lomachenko gonna have to give up that belt eventually or fight Tank, bro. Like he gonna have to force his hand.
But no, I don't. Okay, so that's not even how unification. So you said something else that didn't make sense. You said that Loma was willing to take step aside money in order for the Shakur fight. There's no step aside money because there's no mandatory. They're both champions. They don't have to fight each other.
Okay, we'll take away the money part. He said he was willing to step aside so they could make that fight happen.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably because
yeah. but him ducking still stands, right? You try to get semantic. You got hung up on semantic.
If people want to call Lomachenko a duck for the how long it took him to fight Devin Haney, all the way up until he fought Devin Haney, sure, you can do that. If you want to start calling him a duck because he didn't fight Tank right now, sure, you can do that. I just don't understand how that's going to help Tank's resume.
Lomo and his team both admitted that they ducked.
That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. I just don't know how they're going to help Tank's resume. The thing about Lomachenko, which helps his case, is he actually fought Devin Haney when Devin Haney was even better.
Well,
he literally fought Devin Haney. He wound up fighting a better version of Devin Haney. So, like,
that was the worst version of Devin Haney, bro.
Oh, wait a minute. You think Devin Haney was better like 2 years ago at 35?
Absolutely, bro. Yes.
Yeah, he wasn't willing to. He didn't get off his game for nobody. He stuck to the game plan every fight until this last fight, Devin Haney. That's why that was one of the main reasons he was so successful.
I think it was a shit game plan.
Whatever. He was a winner.
No, I'm saying this last fight he was not. He was like a no contest after getting a loss. But anyway, I'm just saying I think he had a shit game plan against Ryan Garcia. I think he stuck to the game plan that if he dies, he dies.
No, he didn't stick to the game plan because he got his. What I'm saying is he might have stuck to what they talked about. I'll give you that. Yeah, but he didn't stick to what made him successful. What got him to that point.
That. So yeah, we agree there.
All right. Now look, I got a question. Yeah. At this point, when it's concerning Tank, concerning Loma, who has more to gain, or whose career look brighter going forward, him or Loma at this point in their career?
Oh, who has more of an upside? Tank.
Thank you. We agree on that.
I'd say this: if Lomachenko was going to fight one of the two, in my opinion, if I was Loma's manager, I would suggest that he fight Shakur. I actually think he could beat Shakur. Stylistically, I think he could pose a lot of problems for Shakur. The up and down, the in and out, all that stuff will be a nightmare for Shakur, who sits and waits with his hands in his pockets. You know what I mean? Don't make it happen on the front end. Try to make everything happen on the back end. But I mean, I can't blame him for not wanting to fight Tank. I'm gonna be honest with you. You know, he's an aging guy, but you got to get off the belt.
Bob may do exactly what you just said too. Make them two fight.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Keep it in-house.
Right. So, and that might have been the plan. Oh, and maybe Shakur don't re-sign with Bob, or maybe he does. But I'm just saying that, like, even all of this talk of Loma being a duck that talk is gonna become dead if he actually fights Shakur. Nobody's gonna give a fuck about that. There'll be a bunch of yelling Tank fans. Like, still the question gonna be who's Tank's gonna fight? Because if Loma does beat Shakur, fuck Tank's gonna fight. You got to make the Tio fight.
Your phone's still going in now, bro.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, if Loma fights Shakur next, then you can forget all of that. Like, Loma was ducking Tank shit. Like, nobody's gonna give a fuck about that.
Yeah, because he'd be unified. He'd be the younger guy. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Nobody's gonna be like, oh, well, he's just ducking Tank. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, Tank needs to go fight Tio. If they make that fight,
about that. I don't know. I don't know if I can agree with that part.
I'm just saying. Like, the question at that point. Both Shakur will be fighting somebody. Loma will have has been fighting people. The question, it'll be the highlight of the shit that I'm talking about right now. We'll go right back to who the fuck is Tank going to fight? Is he trying to fight Tio, or is he trying to fight some fucking no-name Latino dude that he can knock out for some goddamn money? That's exactly what's gonna fucking happen.
Well,
That's what Tank's problem is.
he can fight either T.O. or Cruz again. He can fight Cruz again
Yeah,
because
exactly.
Cruz got a belt at
That's what I'm saying.
140.
That's what it's gonna go to.
See, I think Tank gonna move up to 140.
No, I'm just saying if
I
he
don't
was gonna
either. No,
fight,
I don't.
if you gonna throw T.O. in the equation, I'm saying he can fight
No,
Cruz as
I'm
well
just
because they
saying.
both got belts.
What all I'm saying is what I think the majority of boxing fans will say if they make the Loma versus Shakur fight next. You can forget all that. Oh, he's just ducking Tank shit. That talk is gonna be fucking dead. That's gonna be
I
Tank
don't know.
fans.
I'm gonna tell you why I say I don't know if that would be paddle. Look, there's two different styles of fighters. Shakur don't pose the threat that Tank does, and vice versa. Shakur and Loma are pure boxers. Tank is a boxer, and he can also knock you out with either hand. So I mean, you got more risk going up against a guy like Tank for Loma or Shakur. That Tank is a greater risk out of the three of them. Tank is a greater risk for both of them versus them being for him. I just think the fact that if the fight has, Bob's been talking about they were going, him and Loma was going to fight. Tank and his team been saying it, and I'm just not hearing Loma's team manager or whatever saying that he's not thinking about all that right now. He's trying to spend time with the family and all this kind of stuff. Now I'm hearing that he's actually, the fight's not happening this year. With and the manager was talking about it's supposed to have been later this year, which that fight was already dated for later this year. So I don't know if it's a duck or not, truthfully, or if it's just them giving us something to chew on. But at the same time, I think all roads going to lead through Tank at 135. You're going to have to. I mean, because it's going to be the biggest fight. Whoever fight who is going to be the biggest fight when they fight Tank.
Yeah, I just think it's going to be a who's who or who gives a fuck. Like, I don't like if he doesn't get Tank if he doesn't get Loma or Shakur or like at least or Will Cepeda maybe. I don't know who the fuck. Who what does it matter at this point? Like Kambosos?
I think that's who Shakur's supposed to be fighting next, ain't it? Cepeda.
No, Cepeda down. They out of that one. I was like, nah, it's just dead in the water. Well, we already knew that was fucking dead in the water. We knew that was a no-go.
I mean, it's. I mean, they fight. I will say this. It seemed like since last year, the matchups have been better. I think we've been seeing more fights that we wanted. We have been wanting to see as far as matchups. Here late the past year or so for a long time, and with the Saudis and getting involved and putting some fights together and stuff like that, I think it makes things a lot more exciting for people like us that want to see these fights. So I think in some I don't think that your side of the street thing is gonna stick too much more. I don't think it's gonna hold up too much more. I think people, these fighters are gonna have to start fighting each other a little bit more consistently than what they have in the past. No matter what promotional company they're with.
Yeah, I feel like the exact opposite. Like I understand the distinction you were making when it comes to fights we've been waiting for and making matchups. If you look at it through that lens, maybe. But like overall, I feel like this is the worst boxing year we've had in like damn near a decade, maybe in 10 years. Like it's been fucking horrible. The fights, the quality of fights, not necessarily like, been waiting for undisputed heavyweight and we got it. Sure. We're supposed to get better Beav and B-ball and that got postponed because of an injury, but they still made the fight. So sure. And for everyone who's been waiting around for Ryan and Devin, we got that fight. But yeah, overall, the quality of fights have been fucking dog ass to me. And I don't even give it, like, I wasn't really waiting for Devin and Ryan, so I didn't even give a fuck about that.
But, last year we had Tank and Ryan, which kind of got the ball started. Two different networks. They fought. Two different promotional companies. They fought. Then we finally got Spence and Bud. Two different promotional entities.
No. No.
Even the reason I say that because Bud was representing himself.
Right, but that's what the PBC guys do.
But he did sign with PBC to get that fight for a moment. But at the same time, that was supposedly the biggest problem that PBC had is the fact that Bud was not part of their organization. And then when he wasn't part of the other organization anymore, they still gave him a problem trying to offer him corn, peanuts or whatever. But we did get the fight last year. So to me,
Bud said that he was wrong. He said I should have listened to Al. Like literally, they weren't offering peanuts. Bud even came out later and said, "No, I would." Yeah. Now that I see what the back end money, he just wasn't used to that back end shit. Once he got to a little taste of it, he was like, "Okay, yeah, I was tripping."
No,
I disagree. I think we done had a lit year.
Bud did the right thing. Bud did the right thing.
Okay, wait, hold on a second. Okay, so regardless of whether we have a lit year or not, what I say it's the worst year. So I'm just saying, like, what year do you think was worse than this year so far? I mean, we're only in July. I mean, we're at the end of July, but this is actually getting into the end of the boxing schedule. So what year would you put up as the worst year? I mean, you can throw maybe the pandemic year in there, 2020, but I think maybe even 2020 had better.
You talking to me?
Yeah, the guy said we're having a fire year.
Smoke. I never look at it in terms of what is the good year, what is the best year. I just rate it. I live in the moment, bro. Like, I appreciate the prize, bro, but I don't let it get because sometimes I'll get caught in like knee jerk responses or, you know what I mean? Like if I don't like the outcome of a fight or whatever the case may be, I always judge boxing as a whole, right? And I look at MMA and what is the one knock they give against boxing? They don't make the best fight the best. Like Devin Haney and Ryan was like the best and they fought each other. Like I just look at the year that we had, like even the fucking the cards that Turkey Al-Rashid threw on, like he put heavyweights on there. They like Bivol was fucking stopping.
Yeah, that's all last year.
He did a card this year too as well.
Yeah,
no, I'm just saying the heavyweight card and Loma and Devin, that was last year.
Yeah, but he also the card he did this year was good as well. The card that
I didn't like the card this year. Actually, I didn't. Like, the fights weren't good. The card wasn't. It was like mediocre.
Yeah, but he what he said, he did put some fighters together that normally probably wouldn't have fought each other in the past under the old traditional you over there, I'm over here type bull crap. Yeah, this guy's helping these promoters come together and making these fights happen, man. I think we're in a better situation now. These last year and this year, opposed to previous years before.
Man, listen, I think like for me, man, like this, this is one of this year I wind up talking about boxing more than I wind up talking about fights. I don't like for me, I like to look at the fight. Like I like to this is Saturday night. We're supposed to be chopping up the fucking card that we just watched. Instead of what we got is like UFC shit, or we got Jake Paul, huh?
But see, Smoke, that's how that works. Like I always say, the best thing about boxing.
It's like that last. I mean, it's just been like Shakur Stevenson fucking last week. It's just what else, man? Tank is Frank Martin week before that. Okay.
But to get this, Smoke, we got a sport that's run by.
I did like Junto Nakatani shit. I like but I mean, who's staying up at the middle of the fucking morning to watch Junto? But.
Yeah, I didn't see that. I didn't see that fight. I heard it was in the middle, early morning. I missed it. I heard he knocked the old boy out with a body shot.
Yeah. And that dude's a problem, and but it's bantams. It's
now you want to speak on the fight that happened tonight. I ain't worried about Jake Paul, but the real fights the real fights that was on the card, man, let me tell you something. That kid H2O was putting on a clinic and got caught cold.
Hey, he turned him into Ice Cube. He turned H2O into Ice Cube or vapor.
He was out before he was out mid-air. I mean, he got caught cold, man. He got too greedy and happy, man. But he was pitching a clinic before that.
But Smoke, don't make the same mistake that a lot of us make, bro. And like we always compare to the glory years, and like them glory years spoiled us with Don King, who they said was a problem, but now that he's out of the sport, they're talking about how great Don King was for the sport.
No.
Because we've had an event damn near like at least every other week. We've had an event.
They've just been dog shit. I mean, yeah, we've had some events. They just, to me, they haven't had good fights on them. They've been like mediocre. Like it's been hard to get. Like I was a person, even though I wanted like heavyweight undisputed, I just wasn't looking forward to the matchup because both of those guys spend too much time like fainting and dancing and shit. So I wasn't really expecting like fireworks, like that many fireworks in the fight. And the first half was pretty fucking pedestrian. The second half had more fireworks, but at the end of the day, it was just kind of like, it's like an okay fight. And I think that might, is that fight of the year at this point? Like Munguia, Canelo, that shit was dog shit. What is it?
That was a good, bro. You
That was
tripping,
a
bro.
good
Both
scrap.
of those fights were good, Smoke.
That was a good
wait, hold
scrap.
up a second. Wait, you said that wait a minute. Canelo versus Munguia was a good scrap to you?
Yeah, it was a good scrap. It was a good scrap. McGill showed himself good, man. He was well over. He was fighting a guy well over experienced versus himself, and he still wasn't. He wasn't afraid. He wasn't running. He was fighting.
No,
Man.
I mean I get right. He showed you that he's a young, hungry fellow Mexican dude that wasn't going to lay down. That's cool, but that doesn't make it.
And he touched Canelo. He brought the fight to Canelo and touched him a few times. It was a good scrap.
Yeah, whatever. At no point.
I mean, I didn't.
Let me ask you this.
I hear what you said. I didn't like the matchup either at that point. I didn't think it needed to happen at that. I wanted to see Canelo fighting other people. But once they did fight, it was a good scrap.
Okay, so I would say that it was a better scrap. He acquitted himself better than like Charlo did. But I also think he acclimated himself to the weight better than Charlo did. But at the end of the day, I don't think that either one of them. I don't think he was. I think he was more competitive. I guess whatever. Different puzzle to solve. Anyway, both those dudes got their fucking asses handed to them. That shit wasn't no good scrap. Get the fuck out of here. But anyway, the other part of it is what is it? But I'm not trying to yuck on your yum. Sorry, when I say get the fuck out of here, I'm saying I didn't come away with the same takeaway. I did come with the takeaway that Munguia didn't lay down, but I didn't think he was going to. I thought he was gonna to me that was like the fight of a lifetime for Munguia. That his whole I don't know if you guys remember when Munguia first fought Saddam Ali, and he had his family next to him in the fucking ring. His grandmother pulled her dentures out on TV and shit. He's got a hood ass fucking family. I know that dude wasn't gonna lay down against fucking Canelo. I didn't think that he just has too much pride in him. He comes from the kind of people that ain't gonna fucking lay down. They're gonna stand up when it's time to fight Canelo. He can't beat Canelo. He can't beat Canelo, but he's definitely gonna fight Canelo.
It wasn't about the purse for him like it was for Charlo.
Yeah,
Charlo was just money grabbing.
Yeah, it's a legacy fight for him because there's fellow Mexican, Canelo's like a god in fucking Mexico. Fuck out of here. That dude, I understand that fight, but when it comes down to skills to beat Canelo, he barely made Canelo work. At no point did I see a look of concern on Canelo's face. It was a pretty pedestrian fucking outing for Canelo for me. To me, that ain't no fucking good scrap, especially given the state of Canelo these days.
It was an entertaining fight, man. It was an entertaining fight.
Listen, I can't speak to your level of entertainment, but the Costa Zoo Fondura fight also to me wasn't a good fight. It was.
No, I agree with that because I don't like the way they did it. I think they should have stopped the fight, made a no contest after that head was opened up like it was. Costa Zoo was whooping his tail before that.
Now the Lewis Neary monster fight, that one was all right. Neary caught him with a cold one, dropped him early. Monster had to come back, dig deep, stop that guy. That was an okay scrap.
That was a good fight.
Yeah, that one was all right. I'm trying to think what's right now is probably fight of the year at this point.
But that's the thing, Smoke. So Smoke, you gotta look at it like this, bro. In the 90s, bro, they was having fight parties. This is the equivalent of having a fight party now, because we're not all linking up. I mean, sometimes we might link up at an event, but we all communicating, you know what I mean, through the internet and enjoying the fight together, right?
I mean, I still went to fight parties. Yeah, I mean, I was Brian and Devin. That was a fight party. Tank and Franklin was at a fight party. So I still do them. I don't need to go back to the 90s. I was just saying the last decade.
No. But you ain't let me. You ain't hear my point.
Yeah, you got it. My bad.
So this is what I was saying when I was saying that. Boxing now lives on YouTube, right? So the people who were casual friends, they might go to a fight party, but for the most part, they'll tune into my live. Hey man, what's going on? Who's fighting? I don't know what's going on. Boxing lives now through the internet, and especially more so on YouTube, right? So every event that they have, because it's the free market, they have a bunch of promoters, is not going to be fucking kicker, especially when they don't even have, some of them don't even have enough names at certain weights to make exciting fights all the time. So you know how Top Rank do it. They just do the top rank's greatest hits. They throw Keyshawn, Torres, all Shakur, all their greatest hits against no hopers, and that be their card, and then it's gonna go on to perhaps midnight. So every event's not gonna be an exciting event. I just appreciate that we've had events at least every other week, because UFC only has, like, you know what I mean, not one event, but it's one organization that has that event. There's no competitors or whatever. You know, you got Bellator, but they pale in comparison to UFC. So I like that we have filler shit in between to talk about. Like this card with Jake Paul wasn't all that, but I mean, it was something to talk about. You know what I mean? Meanwhile, where we could talk about other shit.
Yeah, so for me, it's like it really, like 2015 was like real fucking cool as a boxing year. 2014 was really good. Like, but 2017 was fire, and 2018 was was fire. 2019 was fire. 2020 we got the pandemic, but we still got like the Fury Wilder rematch kind of early, and then we had we had those fights later on in the year, the Charlos, that fuck pay-per-view. So they like PBC, they once they put boxing on again, they gave us some great fights. You know, Top Rank tried, Matchroom tried. Like, anyway, it was pretty good. We got the Povetkin fucking goddamn Dylan White fights and all that shit. So even 2020, even with the pandemic, it eked it out. 2021 also fucking nice. But this year, like, you know, with Showtime leaving, you know, Golden Boy not really having talent and shit, it's like I think it's a distribution problem at this point. Like, for the American artists, like at this point, all we have for the American fight fan is Top Rank. Other than that, we gotta, like, that's what we got for free TV. Like that's the American promotion doing a thing. I think we've got 2 Amazon cards at this point. You know what I mean? It's that. Like, I feel like it's a distribution issue, and I hope it works itself out. I'm just saying, like, this so far this year, I can see that we have it like the American a fight fan like me. I'm looking at a distribution issue. I'm not into, like, I don't care about Frank Warren versus goddamn Eddie Hearn fight. Like, the fuck that got to do with me? I don't live in Britain. I don't need to see a battle for fucking Britain.
No, I think Amazon and Prime are gonna really. I think they're really pushing sports right now, man. They're pushing sports.
Yeah.
You know, pretty good right now.
I hope it turns. Yeah, I'm hopeful, right? I just don't. I want to see it. I think that at the end of the day, it could be more as popular as it's ever been, if the whole streaming thing, like when they figure out the kinks of it at all. But I'm just noticing in like 2024 through July, I'm like, oh, wait a minute, I got kind of spoiled, I think. And now I'm looking at it going like, wait, is Bivol, is better be Bivol gonna happen? Are they going? Is goddamn Matias gonna get off his ass? And can he handle success? What is Matias? Is Tio gonna do something? Like, what's happening? I guess Tio has a fight. Boots, Virgil, David Benavidez. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the next half of the year is gonna be like, but I'm definitely getting off of my high from previous years, and that's all I mean. I'm not saying let's go back like 30 years. I don't need to go back that far. I'm saying 2017 was fucking fire, 2018 was fire, 2019 was fire, 2020 recovered itself pretty well, 2021 was pretty fire, 2022 was pretty fire, 2023 was pretty fire. Like, what's going on right now? Like,
I think
they've had 3 events already on boxing matches. All right,
so they've 3, and it's fucking and it's almost Tim
Tszyu and Pandora was one of them as well.
Yeah, that's the first one. Yeah, we got that one. We got Frank Martin, and which one was the other one?
Canelo.
Yeah, Canelo. Yeah, that's all right. Cool. So we got 3 fights in 7 going on 8 months. And do we have one later on in the month or something?
Well, you know, the first one until what, March?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what sensitized me to it. So I started fucking jonesing. I was like, what the fuck is going on with my boxing?
That was because of pay-per-views deal with them, you know. But I don't think they would have invested in Tank the way they have if they didn't plan I mean, I can see multiple types of sports that they have pushed uh, for people like us to watch. So I know they pushing sports pretty hard right now, more than I remember them doing in the past.
I just like that our heavyweight division finally has a definitive champion. Because I mean, they always talk about the heavyweight
Right.
division being the life post, and we finally got this shit settled. Anthony Joshua fighting Otto Wallen and fucking what's his name, Francis Ngannou. It's probably because they trying to keep him in cuts to make the winner of the rematch between those two. So they look like they finna do some pretty good things heavyweight wise. You know what I do like about them getting into boxing, bro, is because boxing was independent contractors, people harp so much on the losses. You know what I mean? They willing to throw you away for a loss, and it hurts your marketing value or what you're willing to demand. But now that Turkey coming in, and he like, look, for a rematch, I'm giving you this. For that, I'm giving you that. They don't give a damn, bro. Look at Jared, not Jared Anderson, Jarrell Miller, the other big baby. Like, bro, I mean, shit, he had a rematch with fucking Daniel DeBois if he had one. Like, and he's still gonna be on the card versus Andy Ruiz. They didn't throw him away because he lost. Like, I love that. I love that for the sport.
I do too, but the heavyweight division is kind of mad right now. I do appreciate that we have a def- definitive champion. The fight was, I mean, it was what it was. The quality of the fight was what it was, but the magnitude of the fight was actually overshadowed by fucking Ryan Garcia popping 30. So it's like, if you want to go back to like the 90s, right? The last time we had undisputed heavyweight champions and shit, there's no way that the lower divisions could have taken the air out of that fucking fight. No matter what the hell they was doing. But yeah, in this one, Usyk is just not, like, people just don't relate to that guy. People don't gravitate to him, and I think people are a little bit tired of Tyson Fury. So it just kind of, there's nobody to really root for. You can root for the division as a whole, but I don't know. I think the division is going through a little bit of a transition too. Like the old guys, they're still going around doing stuff to keep us entertained somewhat. I mean, to the extent that they are keeping us entertained, but yeah, we need to see the next generation step up. I mean, that's what I think. I can't imagine Usyk being around for, like, an active champion for the next 2 years. I just don't see that.
Yeah, honestly, I think AJ is gonna have like a little 2 or 3 year reign, probably in my opinion. I think
Unless
I think
Daniel Dubois picks him off.
you think Daniel Dubois could beat him?
I think he could beat him. I don't know that he will. I like the way that Daniel Dubois is developing. I think he's more the future than the present, but who the fuck knows, right? That's why they fight the fights, heavyweights, man.
When I say this about Daniel Dubois, he killed the myth of people born round don't die square, because he was a known quitter, and I thought he was gonna quit in that fight, his last fight, and he didn't. He actually overcame. You know what I mean? So I was extremely shocked. But I think that that's more so a testament to, I think Daniel DeBarge might have been matched too hard early on, and I think that's what might have why we seen what we seen. He wasn't developed or mature yet as a fighter, and I think he could give AJ a run for his money. But I got AJ beating him.
Yeah, I think the smart money should be on AJ, but it's just that Dubois is like a live dog. But I don't know that I never really thought of him as a quitter. I thought he was somebody who couldn't make adjustments. I think he's becoming better as a fighter. I think that Joe Joyce thing is like the thing that people made him a quitter, but he just couldn't get out of the way of that fucking shot. And I think it was more of a
It wasn't
testament
that
to his
fight.
team.
It was the fight that he was fighting at other cruiserweight. I don't even remember the guy's name, and he started flopping. But he stopped the guy, but he was flopping in that fight. And then when he fought Usyk, he flopped as well. I'm like, bro, what the fuck? Like, he was becoming a notorious like flopper. Like what the fuck? I was like, oh, he's a
But
quitter. But
Well,
yeah,
that's that soccer shit. They love to flop on that shit.
don't forget they kind of stole something from him when he hit Usyk with that body shot that they call illegal, which it wasn't. So
it
Yeah, I
was
don't
a
think it was
bad
illegal
call.
either.
But he
Yeah.
was gonna lose anyway.
Yeah, but that's the kind of calls you get. That's your A side fighting in your home. Like that's the home that's home cooking shit. And I'm not even mad at it. I don't even call that corruption. I feel like that's the kind of advantages you earn.
So
I just personally.
as far as the heavyweights, the guys that's making that to me that made a big impact on sort of like a comeback type of situation. I think Divorce and AJ have impressed me because Du Bois, first of all, he's bit down twice to get his last 2 wins, and showed us that he can, if he really pushes himself, be more competitive and not flop. AJ looked like he's reinventing himself, basically, like he's really serious about what he's doing at this point, and has re-humbled himself in the sport of boxing, and really want to make another run. So I think what my man said a minute ago about him going on a 2 or 3 year reign, that's probably what's about to happen. Because I always felt that AJ, regardless of what has happened to him in the past, I always felt that he would beat Fury. I always felt that. I used to feel that Wilder would beat him, but I felt that he would beat Fury because he was a better boxer than Wilder, and he could still hit. Now, with Fury, we don't know what's going to happen to him. He may not even come back. Usyk doing his thing, whether or not anybody beats him, not sure. But I think AJ is about to go on a run, like my man said. It's going to be a good challenge between him and Du Bois. That's going to be a big fight over there in England. A lot of people over there wanted to see years ago, and of course they, figuring AJ's going to win that fight. But I think the heavyweight division was reinvigorated thanks to Turkey Ashida, putting that money up and bringing those promoters together. And I appreciate him doing it for my boxing pleasure as well. But,
you know what I don't?
Well, I think we've had some, I think boxing's been a little bit more exciting here of late, man. I mean, I forgot last year we also got Caleb and Benavidez, finally got that fight last year. So we've had some pretty good fights here since last year, man. I think we could all agree on that.
You know what you know what I can't understand? Turkey Al-Rashid is kind of like a mythical match. He tries to go with what he thinks the fans want. I can't wrap my mind around why he put Wilder against fucking Joseph Parker when he could have just put him straight into an Anthony Joshua fight. We could have probably got 2 fights out of those guys.
That was supposed to be a tune-up for Wilder, because they was trying to put him and AJ together. Wilder screwed up.
Joseph Parker ain't no tune-up though. That's a dangerous fight.
Well, you don't see him. I didn't see him knocking out Wilder, the old Wilder. I didn't see him beating the old Wilder. I didn't see that. I saw him getting knocked out by the old Wilder, and I think that's Wilder trying to sell the fact that he's back and all that. He wasn't back. I can tell the way he was talking, the way he was carrying himself. He wasn't back. But Wilder needs to retire. He's not.
No. We got one fight. I need to see Wilder before you talk about tying up old business. I still need to see Wilder Dillian White. Bring Dillian White fucking bitch ass out here. I want to see you guys thinking and ducking.
I don't even want to see Dillian. I don't even want to see Dillian White in the ring.
Hey, whoever gets knocked out gets knocked out. Whoever gets knocked out gets knocked out. I want to see it.
It's a good fight, but Dillian White, he's not true to his training either, man. He's sour.
That's what I'm saying.
If he dies, he dies. Put him in there with Wilder.
That's what I'm saying. Let's tap these loose ends. Let the guys. Let's figure out who the best and the worst of the generation is.
That will be a good build up to the fight.
Whoever fights, I'm watching them. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying, man. I don't want to see Wilder get hurt, man. Not knowing that he's not in love with the sport anymore. That's what happened to Roy Jones, man. He wasn't in love with the sport anymore. He felt like he had accomplished everything he needed to accomplish, and he just kept getting knocked out, man. I don't like that.
So here's the thing. I think he just his eyes got too big. Like the guy still has enough motivation to get in the ring. But I think that they like you were saying, Joseph Parker is not a tune-up. That is not how you come back after that kind of layoff. After you're basically retired. You need to get motivated. You need to get back into championship contender fucking state. And he should have the guys that he fought. They were way sharper than him, way hungrier than him, looking to make their names off of him and shit. That's not how you come back. So to me. If he's serious about his comeback run, if he's serious about his comeback run, I'm gonna land my plane here. He shouldn't be fighting the likes of the Zaylee Zangs and the Parkers and all that other shit. He should be figuring out the Dillian Whites. That's it. Go ahead.
when Wilder gets to the point where he's talking about he wants a body consistently and showing that he wants a body, we might get some of a little bit of the old Wilder back. That Wilder that could compete against any of them guys. I'm gonna tell you something. That Wilder, the only person that I was afraid to see him fight back then was the guy he just lost to, Zane. That was the only guy I felt like, regardless of which Wilder it is, I always felt like Zane was going to be that kryptonite for Wilder.
Man, yeah, Billy Zhang is a kryptonite for any fucking body, including Tyson Fury. I
Right,
don't think
right.
nobody really like Zhang is not that dude to be picking on, bro. Like, just like Kyle, I don't know if you can hear us, but Get the Smokers backstage. But yeah, it's like Get the Smoke was saying. I think what you said, Santos, Roy Jones, the love wasn't there, bro. They just in it for the money. And when you have that type of motivation, you still got the talent, you know what I mean? But you don't have the will to overcome. So that's when you fight a guy like a Dylan White. Because if you get in there with a guy like Joseph Parker and he still got championship and ambitions, you're gonna get exactly what you got during the fight. I don't understand how they beat fucking I can't even remember the guy's name now. Fucking slap that guy to sleep. Can't even remember his name. White dude, Viking looking dude. I can't even remember his name now.
The one Russian or something.
Oh, he was a spar partner. Why am I having a brain fart, bro? Well, anyway, that guy, bro. I don't understand how he beats that guy and then says, you know what? I'm ready to fight Joseph Park. It's like, nah. Like Get This
Oh,
Smoke said.
you talking about the one Wilder knocked out early, and then
Yeah, first round
AJ
slapped him to sleep.
AJ. Yeah, you talking about I
Kalanius.
can't think. I know you're talking
Kalanius.
about
That's who it is.
Elenius,
Bro,
yeah.
I don't know why I was having a brain fart. See, he's so forgettable, bro. I forgot his name.
But you
But he
know
slapped.
that fight, he hadn't fought those fights were so far away from each other, several months. If not more, it was more than a year apart.
Yeah, but it's a bunch of heavyweight Centos that the top rank shows us this that Torres be fighting. He could have grabbed one of those guys, fought maybe 200. That's what Joseph Parker did before he fought him. He got like
Yeah,
3 of
no,
those
no,
fights.
I'm not disagreeing with. I'm just saying that that fight didn't do anything to help Wilder because he didn't fight consistently enough after that. Wilder was out trying to be a rapper and shooting guns, man. He wasn't in training, man, until it was time. Until somebody say, "You ready to fight?" You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna be honest, Santos. I didn't see no difference in Wilder now and the Wilder then. The only difference is he don't got confidence in his right hand. I think his confidence was supreme in that right hand that it doesn't matter.
No,
He even said it.
he got confidence in the right hand. That's what's getting him knocked out. He don't have confidence in his chin and his ability to withstand what these guys are bringing to him. And he had that confidence before. He still got too much confidence in his right hand.
I
That's
think
what's
the
getting
right
him
hand
knocked
was
out.
like a shadow or like a big building. It would hide all the things that he like the chin and all this other stuff, the little bitty
Yeah,
leg.
the difference is not only what his mindset is, but the other difference is they've seen him beaten, and they're not afraid of him anymore. They see all they got to do is outbox him, and they might catch.
You know what was really weird in the James fight is he throws the right hand and James skims his face, right? Then Wilder turns his back to complain to the ref, and it's like, bro, what the fuck could you possibly? I went back. I've watched that shit probably like
He
20
was out on
times.
his feet. He was out on his feet then, though, bro. He was
I
out on
wanted to
his
see
feet
if
when
he
he turned.
stepped on his foot. Like, what could he possibly been trying to tell the referee? Like, hey man, he's not supposed to hit me above the neck. Like, bro, I have no idea what he was complaining about. And it's
Yeah,
just like that's what got him knocked out, bro.
that punch touched him more than he was let down though. He was basically out on his feet at that time.
But he turns his back and gets an even more devastating shot. I
Right.
would have took a knee.
And he's never done that before. That's how effective that punch was for him.
And you know what? Even fighting Jang, Wilder has never did well against Southpaw. Like, I just don't understand his matchmaking, like accepting these fights at this point. Like, I would tell Turkey, like, look, I like Jang, man, but I want AJ. I want AJ before I retire. Like he was saying. I would have told him the same thing about like he was looking at the money. Nah, man, I want this AJ fight. Let's do 2 fights with AJ. I'd rather have 2 fights with Anthony Joshua than fight uh Joseph Parker. I don't get nothing out of it. What do I get out of it? Anthony Joshua's not even a title holder. I just want that fight for the fans. You know what I mean? It's going to be a big money
Well,
fight as well.
That's what it was going to be. But see, I think they all agree that they both will take fights before they fight each other, man. And Wilder
which is crazy
he
because
just threw the pooch, man. That's all.
Anthony Joshua got the touch-up fights. Otto Wallen was a touch-up. That's what. If I'm Deontay Wilder, that's what I would have picked. Otto Wallen knocked his fucking head off.
Yeah, perhaps. Well, yeah, I feel you. But
or what's his name, Francis Ngannou. That would have been a good one too. He let AJ move like a guy that's transitioning with a new trainer and building his confidence when he should have moved like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just don't see. I don't see the man, the fighter that the inner heart of that fighter that we used to know Wilder for. It's not there anymore.
I don't know, because I remember they were saying that after the second Fury fight, that he didn't have it, and he went and knocked Fury down in the third fight. That's what made me a fan of Wilder. I wasn't a fan of Wilder until then because he showed me everything he said. He went out on his shield. He showed tons of heart. He didn't give up. He fought Tyson Fury like he didn't lose the second time or get knocked out. He wasn't really that timid or anything. He showed a lot of heart in that fight. It's just after
that last fight, he was fighting on sure heart. That's true. He was amped up for that fight mentally. But see, he hadn't been in that mental space since then, man. He's just that Wilder that lost to Fury that second time would have beat Parker easy, man.
And you know what? That's what I'm saying.
But the problem with that Wilder that lost to Fury those the second and third time, he was so anxious to knock Fury out both the second and third time that he didn't have any energy after the third round. And he got messed up both fights the same way. Got caught with the same punch in the third round, both fights. The only thing, the difference, the third fight, his heart was greater and he pushed hard, but he didn't really get knocked out in the second fight. He got stopped, but not knocked out. The referee, they stopped fighting. They needed to. He was better. But it's just it was a difference there, man. He just. Let me tell you something. When you hear a fighter talk about retiring, that's a death sentence, man. Every fighter I've heard talk about after they don't had a loss and they talk about the possibility of retirement, I ain't never seen them come. There ain't too many of them just come back doing good. If they lost their last fight and then they get talking about retiring after they start taking interviews, man, they've already checked out, man.
1 foot already there. It's inside the bed.
It's just like you hear a person talking about, a person who's been having a lot of sicknesses and been struggling a lot with their health, man, and then they get talking about they tired. It's about over at that point, bro. Everybody that I know personally has told me that they were tired of fighting. After that, next thing you know, man, they gone, man. Shoot, fighters ain't no different from what I've seen in my lifetime.
I agree. Once they start talking about retirement, that's why I thought Errol Spence could beat Fedor until I seen that interview where he started talking about retirement. I said, "Oh, Fedor for the fuck Errol Spence up."
Yeah, they talk about that. They take one of them good. When they take a good butt whooping, man, they get talking about the possible retirement. Shoot, they ain't, man. They just a mediocre fighter at that point.
But you know what though, Santos? I don't know if it's me being biased to that statement because I remember Floyd said, like early in his career, he would have like headaches and shit or get his ass whooped in the gym, and he would start saying like, "Do I really want to do this? Like, should I retire?" So I don't know. Maybe it's when it comes out loud. Maybe everybody has that thought, but when it comes out loud, that's when it's for sure.
But listen to what I'm saying. The fighters that said after a loss, that's the difference. Floyd didn't take a loss. He didn't take a loss, when he was saying it. Because I already put that into the equation. It's the ones that have taken a loss, have a little time off, they start taking interviews, and they talk about retirement. I don't know any of them that's done well. After that, I don't remember hearing AJ. I don't remember AJ talking about retiring.
Nah, he do. He do. not after his loss, but he do speak about retirement a lot and how he ain't got that much longer left. But
Yeah, and
you know,
that's just I've heard a lot of them talk about that, especially after they don't start getting a bunch of money, which he been getting money for a while. But I'm talking about after them losses, man. I will hear AJ talk about he want to get back. You know, and he going out getting other trainers and all that to train. Man, the man was on a mission. So I just don't, you know, I just don't. I don't know fighters, man, that do well after they take a loss and then talk retirement after the loss. Especially if they made some money in their career. If they made some money and been on a high, and then they take that loss, man, and like they can't figure out what they should do with their career, should they retire or keep fighting or whatever, and they speak it out loud to the public like that, man, I'd be worried about me every time they get in the fight next time, man.
yeah, I agree. I agree. It's that's why I might put some money against Ben. I'm surprised, man. I ain't gonna lie, I thought Jake Paul was gonna stop Perry in the first round because I looked at Perry's only boxing match. Santos, motherfucker got stopped in 30 seconds, man. Hey, this fight today, let me know, bro. Mike Tyson stands a chance against Jake Paul. He's not that good.
Oh yeah, he stands a chance. The Mike Tyson that fought Roy Jones a few years ago, if he gets in at least near that shape there, Jake Paul got problems.
Agreed. He posted on his YouTube of him watching Jake Paul like sitting in the chair. So I guess the fight is still on, man. Hopefully Mike don't get hurt, but man, ideally it goes to a decision and Mike wins the decision, man. That's what I want to happen. So people can stop this death sentence on fucking just age. You know what I mean? Age is so important. Because I mean it's a real thing. It's a real thing. I like to see great people defy odds though as well. LeBron James, Tom Brady, you know what I mean? Like I like to see people go push that bar higher. Because what happens is you get somebody that's great that pushes that bar up, and before you know it, what was considered old, like 30 was old in the 90s. Fighters was washed up at 30. Sugar Ray Leonard was washed up at 33. Now Bud is well past 33 years old. What is he, 36, 37? And people was talking about Bud being pound for pound number one. So that's what happened. They push those bars and technology get better. So I like to see that shit happen, man. I ain't gonna lie, I root for that.
Yeah, so a guy like Bud, he still got a little hunger in him. Like he wants that Canelo fight. He wants this 54. He feel like he can still get some undisputed in some other weight class. So he's trying to shake something, man. And yeah, Bud is true to he true to himself, man. First of all, I don't think Bud lies to himself, to psych himself out about if he can still do it or not. He definitely can still do it, and he's still showing some. He's created a new hunger for himself, another weight division or two.
Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. The first time let me say this for the first time. But one of the times I gained respect for Get This Smoke. I be clowning, but I really do respect him. He's a
Oh
knowledgeable
yeah,
dude.
yeah. Smoke well respected out here, man. And, I mean, I clown him because I heard him talking about the tank thing for a while, but that's my dude, man. He's well respected out here, man.
But the first time I ever heard him, Santos,
Very knowledgeable.
he pulled up to Mark's channel and he was clowning on Bomac. He told me something I didn't even know. And they Bud supporters, so they wasn't trying to hear that shit. They're like, oh, that shit ain't that funny. But I was laughing, bro. He was like, I don't get how you guys don't find it funny that Bomac fought Butterbean and lost to a decision to Butterbean, who not even known for beating people by decision. And I died laughing, bro. But yeah, so I say all to say this, man. This is just me looking with a judgeful eye on Bud, right? I think Bud is probably the best fighter that we've seen in a long time as far as mentality,
Yeah,
tenacity, intensity,
all
all that
around fighter.
focus for 36 minutes. He's very special. But if we're putting things in perspective, at 54, I think that those guys might be too big for him. If I'm looking at a guy like David Avanesian, who went 6 rounds with Bud, Bud uses his legs less now than he did in the Sean Porter fight. I think his legs might be gone. If you look at his style now, he fights more of a shoulder, a shoulder roll type style.
He sit down on his punches more now. He don't move around as much as when he
Yeah,
was lighter.
yes.
But I'm gonna tell you, This guy, Bud, the fighter that I saw in probably, against Avanesian, he showed me a different fighter when he fought Spence. But he showed me an even greater Bud that I had seen in the past when he fought Spence.
I ain't gonna lie to you, Santos. If he goes and beats Masvidal, I'll be more impressed with that win than I was a Spence win, bro. I never thought any
Well, you
version
about to
of
be
Spence could
impressed.
beat.
You
I
about
don't,
to be impressed.
Santos. I don't believe that, bro. I, I don't think that Masvidal is all that special. I just think that at 54, I think the guys are gonna be too big. I don't know if Bud's power is gonna carry up.
Yeah,
I think his legs are definitely
Bud.
gone.
Bud spars bigger people. He don't spar in his weight class. He always spar bigger people. Have been for years now.
Yeah, but when Roy
And he's
Jones,
he's physically strong, man, for a guy his size, man. And he still like to grapple and stuff and with wrestling moves. I mean, he was a good wrestler. He's strong. That's why you'll see, man. I
look,
got faith in him, man.
Santos. I remember when Roy Jones was about to fight Joe Calzaghe, and I was a huge Roy Jones fan. And I
Yeah,
remember
that
Roy
boy
Jones was
Jones.
telling everybody, bro, I was young then. Roy
He was
Jones,
washed up by then.
he came up with an excuse to why he hadn't been looking good in the past couple years. Can't remember what the excuse was, but he like, Roy Jones back, baby. I'm gonna show y'all. Remember, he went dominated Felix Trinidad. I watched him work out. He hit the speed bag. I never seen anybody hit the speed bag like that. Like not speed bag, the double end bag. He had that motherfucker talking. I'm like, what the fuck? And I remember thinking like, damn, Roy is back. He went in the ring in front of Joe Calzaghe and he dropped him in like a second, I believe. But he dominated Roy. He made Roy look awful. You know what I mean? He
Yeah.
showed the age of Roy. It's like people can do it when it's not under the lights, right? Like Frank Martin was able to hang with Tank Davis when it wasn't under the lights. When it was under the lights, he got knocked the fuck out. So it's like, yeah, he might spar bigger guys and all this stuff. Because remember, Canelo was sparring cruiserweights at one time. He wanted to move up to the cruiserweight division. Just because you do it in the gym don't mean it's going to translate to under the lights.
Yeah, I understand
Bud
that.
being
I
strong,
agree.
he's strong for
But
his size, but I mean, at 54, we got to see because strength don't translate into power. And if he ain't got nothing to make those guys at 54 respect him, I mean, shit, hey, it's going to be a tough ride for Bud because he's older. You know what I mean? Acclimating into a new division at his
instead
age.
that well, if when a person is sparring every now and then, bigger guys, that's one thing. But when that's what you do all the time, that's another thing. But you've gotten your body accustomed to getting hit by much bigger guys if you're doing it consistently for a number of years. So there's a difference. Now, I hear what you're saying about sparring versus under the lights. But after you sparring, you work on things. That's what you do. After you've been working on some things for a number of years, consistently sparring bigger guys for a number of years, that's a big part of his success for knocking all these guys out consecutively, man. It's the fact that these guys he's fighting, they're not near the size of what he's used to sparring. So he's using the punches they hitting him with. He's taking punches better now at a heavier weight class than what he was taking when he was at 140. If you think about it, I ain't seen Bud look hurt since Gamboa. I ain't seen him look hurt since then. Not well your boy Green Beans, he knocked him down. Bud said it wasn't no knockdown, but I'm a Bud fan big time. I feel like he knocked him down. But as far as like seriously hurt, no. When he fought the boy from over the one that Spence took his first belt from, Brooks, Cal Brooks. When he fought him, he got knotted up. But when I say hurt, I'm talking about like stinky leg hurt. And matter of fact, he got knocked down against Gamboa. But I haven't seen anyone give him the stinky leg. Gamboa's hurt him more than he was visually more hurt in my opinion, from what I remember seeing all his fights since then, against Gamboa than any person I ever seen, him fight against. And I tell you, man, the boy's solid, man. And see, one of the biggest mistake that Spence and his team made is waiting to make that fight. Because what it did, it gave Terrence and his team the opportunity to grow into that weight. And not only just grow into it, but actually grow past that weight. Because what happened, he was fighting bigger guys that whole time. I mean, sparring bigger guys that whole time, and still is. And these guys at welterweight was nothing for him. They weren't strong as him. They punches weren't bringing as much as his was bringing, and the punches that they were hitting him with wasn't facing. And that's why he was able to clean everybody's clock. I mean, I can't think of one welterweight he's fought that he didn't clean their clock, that he didn't stop, rather. So I mean, the gym work is what made him so successful, man. I'm telling you. He's used to, man. That guy, Steve Nelson. Man, they don't spar so much, man. And was he 160, 168 or something? I know he's much heavier. And he's past 160, I think. I think he's about 168 or heavier. And he's been sparring that guy for years, but he's not only sparred him, but he sparred several other guys. And, recently, him and Ward was just in the ring sparring. So, I don't know if we can count that or not. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying.
But what you call experience, I call damage, bro. I mean, you don't get nothing good from sparring bigger guys and letting them hit upside your body and hit upside your head. Brain cells don't repair themselves, man. So
I understand all that too, but I don't. I would say Spence has taken more damage than Crawford has because his speech has changed over the years. Spence has.
Spence was thrown out of a car at 100 miles per hour, so most definitely he took more. That's why I don't give Bud a ton of credit for beating Spence. I never thought any version of Spence could beat Bud, especially not one that was thrown out of a Lamborghini, bro. It goes against my logic.
Let's say Spence been whooping everybody else.
Man, Spence was hurt by Ugas.
He was. I was there. You're right. I agree 100%. He was hurt.
And Ugas is not even known as a power puncher.
And you know what? When I saw that, now I always said it was a 50-50 fight. But when I saw him get hurt, I told everybody that I was sitting with around. I said, he might want to leave Bud alone. He might want to leave Bud alone. If that was Bud, that fight had been over. And it was. But they did fight.
But that's what I'm saying. So the one consistent thing that I take away from the fight with Spence and then the fight with David Avenesian is he didn't use his legs a lot. Like if you go to the Sean Porter, there's a drastic difference. And I think he doing like what Michael Jordan did when he couldn't jump no more. He developed the fucking fadeaway. I think Bud developing that shell blade in his body and stuff like that. That's because he don't want to use his legs as much. And I'm like, he going up there against bigger guys. He's not gonna just be able to sit in front of them and dismantle. If he do, I'll be impressed. Like I said, if he beats Mazmadov, I'm gonna be more impressed by that than I would.
I think he stopped moving around as much because he, he was fighting a heavier weight division, and I think that's part of him reserving himself. As far as his energy, I believe that I could be totally wrong. That's just my opinion. But at the same time, I also think he was seeing the fight a little bit slower than what he was seeing earlier in his career. How things slow down for you and you're able to see more of what's happening. And I think he decided he's gonna reserve himself, pick his shots, and I think that's what he's been doing. That's what it looks like to me. But he looked like he gave more movement. Not a whole lot more movement, but it looked like he moved around when he fought Spence more than he did when he fought Porter, because he wasn't moving hardly any when the first half of the fight with Porter.
Man,
When
I
they
did.
said something about it, when they told me he was losing, that's when he turned up.
Even when he knocked him out, you know what I mean? He was sliding back and hitting him with shots. And Porter would
Mm-hmm.
start raining punches on him. It's just like when you look at him slide back, you just see a big gap between them. You see him do it against Avanesian. Avanesian was still there. It's like his legs to me are gone. And I'm just like he moving up. He's an older fighter in a different division. Even if Bud is successful at this next fight, like I don't see that many fights for Bud left. I don't know if he's gonna get undisputed at that weight. He definitely don't need to be chasing no Canelo fight. Timothy Bradley said it, but I think it was more him being Bud's friend trying to tell him like, look, bro, at this point in your career, you don't need to be chasing no Canelo fight, bro. Fight Boots, get the bag from Turkey Sheet, and then retire into the sunset and beat him like I know you can. That's basically what he told him in so many words. But you chasing Canelo, bro, you're gonna get stretched. The payday ain't gonna be worth it.
I think he may reevaluate things after he started fighting at 154. After August, after that fight in August, I think he will make a full assessment at that point in time on whether or not he still feel like he can do that. I don't feel good about him trying to fight at 168 either. I wish they would do it at 160 max, but I know Canelo's trying to keep the edge, and I can't blame him. But I still think skill wise he's a better a boxer than Canelo. But one thing I have not seen Canelo doing the stinky leg. He's got one of the best chins since Julio Cesar Chavez to me. So that's the thing. If you can't if you can't slow him down, where he's not coming at you. If you can't do to him what Bivol did, or then you got problems when it come down to or what Mayweather did to him. You got problems with Canelo because he can come back at any time. You can be out boxing, but he can still come back at any time, and we know he can hit. So that's the only thing about it for me. But I think Buzz is good for 154. I think Bud be good up to at least to 160. 168, I'm not sure.
Man, I think we got to see him at 54 before we make them type of conclusions. Because it's the 154 division stack they got. Well, of course, he beat Spence ass already, but Spence is still there. They got Fendora, Charlo, fucking who else they got?
I think he beats both Tim Zoo. I think he beats all three of those guys.
I don't know about that.
Tim Zoo is real good and his hard, but I think Bud beats him. I think Bud has more tricks in his toolbox than Tim Zoo. I think Fendor gets caught on the chin by Bud and goes out. And then Charlo, he don't have the heart anymore. He went up there and just got a check against Canelo. Then he got legal problems now. Then when it come down to my man Spence, we know what that is. More brain damage for Spence.
Well, we'll see, Santos, because I mean, this is the premature judgment. He might get at 54 and just like you said, have a realization like, damn, they too big for me, and he might struggle in that fight because David Avanesian went 6 rounds with Bud. This guy is a better version.
He went 6 rounds with Boots, didn't he?
5, I believe.
I thought it was 6.
Nah, he stopped giving up. He quit a round before, but what
that's
I'm
right.
saying is,
that's why he quit in between. So
yeah,
Bud actually put him out. So I don't think that's too much of a. And Ebenezer is tougher than people gave him credit for, man.
So that's what I'm not saying he a bum. I'm saying this. I'm saying this guy's a better Avanesian, and he's undefeated at 54. He's already acclimated to the weight. It's his weight class that Bud is challenging him at. So what I'm saying is he could easily go 12 rounds. And I said this on my channel, like that said I was hating. Bro, I might put $10 to $15 on the upset.
Yeah. Have you looked at Israel's fights, his past fights? Yeah, go check his past fights out and then give yourself give it another evaluation.
I've seen some highlights of him, but I mean, The way
well, that's all. That's what I've seen. I've seen some, highlights, but what I've seen of him, I feel Bud beats that guy. I could be wrong. You could be right.
I think
Your money
everybody
might be well
agrees.
spent.
I heard everybody predicted knockout. I just like, I don't know, bro.
I didn't say all that, but I don't know who gets knocked out. But I think Bud beats him.
Damn. So this is for
If
the
it's
WBA and the WBO. So they stripped Mel.
Mel been even that's how everybody else fight for these belts of males.
Okay, so he could get undisputed at 54. So that seems like that's the mission for Bud. So Bud, if he wins this fight,
he's trying to get it.
Okay.
I think Mel might still have one belt, don't he?
I'm not sure. I just know that they fighting for two.
But it seemed like he still got some relevance. I forget what I remember. I forget what I have to go back and research. I forget what I heard.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do some study on this.
You remember several months ago, Mel was talking. He was trying to block Bud and somebody else fighting. He was talking like he was going to try to, but he wasn't able to do all that. But he was talking like he still was relevant as a champion or whatever. But I gotta go back and check it out and do my investigations before I speak fully, because I forget exactly what was said. But Mel spoke about something to do with something about Bud coming into the weight division and trying to get this fight. He got to go through me to fight. Get that fight before him. I think
Spencer's been holding up, bro. Spencer's a hoe, bro. I don't like that dude, bro. I don't like him because I feel like he held up Bud's career, bro, for a rematch he know he didn't want. Just hold up his career just to do it, bro.
Yeah. They fight again now. It'll be at 154.
I think he gonna hold up him getting undisputed at that. If he beats Tim Fandor, which is why I hope he don't win, he gonna take that belt and play politics again to stay away from Bud, bro. Like he's a hater, bro.
I don't know if they're gonna let that happen though. You might be right, but I'm talking about the sanctioning bodies. I think they're gonna push some issue. They've been doing a lot of pushing of here lately.
I'm gonna have to go check out this dude record because he ain't got no losses. He only got a draw, and even in that draw,
I didn't know he had a draw.
He knocked that guy out. The fight before they had a rematch, and the doctor stopped it on a cut because he said he wasn't able to. So they went to the scorecards. So the fight might have not even got to develop good. He might have been whooping his ass well on stopping him again. So I got to go look at that. I got to really break down his style, man, because like I said, he's already acclimated to the weight. You know what I mean? He has he's a good age, 29, younger than Bud. So we'll see, man. He's what, 11 fights in. We'll see. I'm gonna have to go to the film on this, but I already gave him I made him a live dog just based off of attributes alone, like him being bigger. I seen a couple of his highlights. I ain't broke down a full fight, but a couple of his highlights. I'm like, this is not a bad fighter, bro. Like, why does everybody think it's for sure that Bud is fit to go in there and just steamroll this guy? I don't understand that.
I feel you.
Oh,
yeah, man, I feel you.
Yeah, man, I don't understand why everybody's making a foregone conclusion, but like I said, we'll revisit because the fight is right around the corner. What we got, 2 weeks?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was gonna try to make it, but my phone's so jacked up, man. I couldn't do it. I had to cancel my hotel a few days ago, man. I was mad like a song.
What the tickets look like?
They were $200-$300. The ones I saw. I tried to look at them the other day, man. Shelton more, but something's up with Access. However you say it.
Oh, I think Ticketmaster got hacked. They got a what you call it? They said it. They got a data breach.
Yeah, I think it was something. It was that day. Something was going on with the tickets, so I'm sure they still got $200 or $300 tickets, man.
Yeah, because I might go.
Yeah, go check it out, man. You do yourself a good justice, man. I've seen Bud fight twice. I've seen Spence fight twice. Of course, I saw them when they fought. That was the second time I saw each of them fight was when they fought one another. But yeah, it's should be should be pretty exciting fights coming up for the remainder of the year, man.
Yeah, that's gonna be a pretty good card.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Yeah,
looking forward to it.
yeah.
That's why I was trying to make it. I think, bro, I'm gonna try to make it. Like, I want to go live. I want to go live at the fight and commentate the shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'd be
But I'll holler at
exciting.
you, Santos. I'm finna probably dip off and go down a wormhole of YouTube videos.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to get some rest in, man. I gotta get up do something tomorrow. Well, today or whatever time it is, man. Look like we the solos. Cal he started up, went to sleep a long time ago, man. That boy, man. Yeah, I don't know,
That's
man.
fucking hilarious.
Yeah, he messed up the nighttime rendezvous.
That's hilarious. But all right, man.
All right, bro. You take care, man.
You too. All right.
All right. Reggie Owens, what's up, my brother? Yeah, I agree with you, Reggie. Yep, I agree with Reggie. Where you were speaking the same language. Well, anyway, fellas, whoever's out there listening, holler back. All right, Smoke, man. Hey, Smoke, man. It ain't it wasn't no big thing, bro. You know I got love for you, man. You my man. I respect what you have to say, man. I may not agree with you. I'm sure you may not agree with me at times, but no, it's all love, man. Anyway, man, men, and if there's any women listening, I'll let you go. It's been a pleasure. I was supposed to be asleep, but when I realized as I was shutting my television down that the boxing section was in session, I felt the need to check it out. It's becoming a rarity now. But anyway, peace in the Middle East. And your boy's out. The old man is out of here.